Yeah.
Can't hear anything.
We're live.
Oh, he doesn't have headphones.
Okay.
Why
You
didn't
can't
he?
hear it.
I can hear him. It's
Why didn't he?
Great. It's a great
Yeah.
intro.
It ran out.
There's only
I was
4
supposed to
output.
bring mine
Yeah,
in, but
he
I
would have
fucked it
plugged his into his
Gotcha.
laptop if we had it.
Gotcha.
And we only
Hey.
need 4 out of the board.
Hey, John.
Yes.
We're live. Waiting on the music.
Platinum billboard, pasted to the sky, reflecting the blaze, pedestrian light, syndicated salesmen, help us to sell ourselves.
Oh, shit. If you don't know who that is, you will by the end of the show. Who Cares Podcast, episode 31. This podcast gives people a platform to discuss topics and have interesting conversation. Conversation without the numerous negative effects of social media. You can communicate through the comment section or join the conversation live. Anything is on the table, no judgment, just decent conversation. This podcast is produced and broadcasted by Chester Creek Studios. Who Cares Podcast or Chester Creek Studios will not, under any circumstances, be responsible for your feelings. Must be 18 or older to watch and or participate. Viewer discretion advised. Live from the Chester Creek Studios, located in someone's mom's basement. Welcome to the podcast like no other. Just a bunch of dudes talking about anything from sports, music, or current events. Thank you for giving us a voice and allowing us to kill you slowly with boredom. I present to you Who Cares Podcast, episode 31. What's up, fellas? What's up? Let me turn my camera back on. Where they at? There we go.
Pinky went to go get his earbuds.
Oh, Lord, we're going to do that shit again.
Players fuck up.
Hey, welcome to the podcast. If you want to join the podcast, the link is in the bottom of the screen. Real simple. You want to ask a question, you might know one of these guys, you want to come on, talk to anybody on the show, punch it in any phone, iPad, tablet, anything you got that streams, punch in that link that's below, and you can come on the show with us. Harrison, Pinky, how you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Long time no see.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's been a long couple of weeks, you know. Sometimes you just gotta take a break.
Gotta take a break. I was here. I didn't do the podcast, the holiday one, but I did the last week by myself.
Okay,
Didn't
so
like
you
that.
weren't on the day after Thanksgiving.
No, I was gonna, but it's a funny story. But let's do intros first. Who we got with us today? Jeremy and Josh. Josh, this is your third time you've been on this podcast. You are a living legend.
That's right.
That's right. We think he's pretty much gonna keep coming back every week from now on.
I love it. I went after the podcast. Every podcast he's been on afterwards, I just think of something he said and start laughing. John,
Yeah, he kind of forgot how y'all were loving on each other last time he was on.
yeah, I like him.
Y'all were just having a love fest, and it was really getting uncomfortable
Oh, no.
for the
That's
rest
sweet.
of us.
I don't remember that. That's wonderful.
I let you drink a little bit more whiskey. It'll come out again. I'm trying to tell you.
That's a fact.
Yeah, we've started with the basil. What's the
Hayden.
Basil Hayden. So we've started with that, sipping on that. It's pretty smooth. But why don't we introduce our wonderful guest tonight?
Yeah, who is that guy?
Crazy
Jeremy
freaking buddy.
Simmons. Jeremy Simmons, correct?
Jeremy D. Simmons. He puts the D in Jeremy.
Yeah,
Simmons.
I almost did that earlier on something I was writing.
It's like
on, but-
Fred G. Stanford, right?
That's right.
Oh, that's right.
And the D just changes. Usually it's for damn straight.
Nice.
Right.
Well, you need to know the D because when you're looking him up on Apple Music for his album, it's Jeremy D. Simmons.
That's right.
Because there is a Jeremy Simmons also.
Right.
So don't forget the D.
I feel bad for that guy.
Really, right?
I don't know.
Fuck that guy.
He's probably
Fuck that.
Fuck that guy.
he's probably a fine human being.
He's a punk.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm very flattered to be invited.
Definitely. We've been checking out all of your different things that you get into. You're very busy, it seems like, with bands and studios and cooking on YouTube. I mean,
Yeah. The cooking show is something I've always wanted to do. And when COVID hit, it's like, man, I used to not have time for that. I'd be gigging every weekend just about, or, both nights, a lot of times out of town, and then clients in the studio. And COVID hit and they kind of shut all that down. I was booking all the stuff at Cary Street Cafe. So that took a lot of time, and, everything kind of fell apart. And I was like, well, fuck, I can cuss on here, right?
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I have time to cook now. And so I really wanted to do the show in a format where I'm cooking, and then I have guests on, and we do like this. We talk.
Yes.
Maybe there's bands. Maybe they groove out a little bit. So hopefully we'll get back to that. But it's been fun, man. And I'm not reinventing the wheel. It's fucking cooking, and I try to get everybody to be. People are getting so caught up, and you got to like measure all your ingredients. I got to have a recipe to do this. It's like, no, man, just get it in there. Don't be afraid of the stove. If you oversalt one day, don't do it the next time.
Yeah.
People get all freaked out about the kitchen, and that's what I would like to diffuse that.
Yes.
Like everybody should be fine. Cook one thing, and then cook another thing, and then you can
Right.
cook two things, and just build on that.
Quite honestly, don't do it the same every time.
Right?
Do it a little different every time.
I don't measure the stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I also don't bake. Right? I mean, you got to measure if you're baking.
Yeah. Things they'll be a little.
Yeah,
runny.
my wife is one hell of a cook, and everybody's like, "Oh, please let me get that recipe." She's like, I don't have it.
Yeah.
Like she don't measure nothing. She
Oh,
just
yeah.
don't
Great.
measure nothing.
Well, and then recipes generally suck anyway. Anytime it says like a half a teaspoon, you're not going to taste that.
Yeah.
Triple
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as it's
Triple that.
Triple that.
Fuck that noise.
I mean, seriously, as long as it's not like some polarizing spice, like, I don't know, you don't want to put too much anise in something, it'd be licorice town, but
Yeah.
cayenne pepper, go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, honestly, the key is when you're using those type of spices, make sure nothing already has salt in it. because
You
that's
mean,
when
you talking about the
really-
blend?
You start blending
Yeah,
stuff, and
for
it-
sure.
yeah, if it has salt in it, all this, and then you added salt also,
Right.
then you've just made a freaking
Correct.
big ass fucking mess.
Yeah,
That's
Chris
great.
Harrison don't cook. Hey, let's check out a little bit of this video. I love the shirt.
Do
I
it.
don't know if you guys can see the screen, but I think it's episode 12, Smothered Chicken, and Whiskey Helps. Love it. Love the shirt. Shout
It's
out
helping
to
us.
It's helping.
My wife
There you
has-
go.
we have matching shirts.
You can easily transfer to stove top if you don't have an Instant Pot, but this is we're going to do it all in Instant Pot. So we're going to start off, we're setting this guy to saute, right? Takes a little while for them to get up the temperature. Right now we have some chicken thighs that will be dredged in flour. I don't really recommend you use chicken breasts in this because they'll get a little dry. We'll talk about how to cook undried chicken breast another time, but thighs, they're hard to fuck up.
I keep all the fucking in there.
Flour, so paprika.
Hey, do you know who Bert Kreischer is?
No,
I was just telling him the same thing before we started.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it
But he
reminds
doesn't take the cooking. Yeah, that's exactly who it reminds me of. They don't take the cooking as seriously as Jeremy does. They're more like kind of.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's
Half
called
the time they're like, I'm not eating that.
something's burning. It's called, and he
Yeah.
has two or three comedians help him with the meal, just like this setup. Man, it reminds me just of it. But they'd be sitting right there by that pepper shaker, and it's just
Yeah.
basically a
I love that.
podcast. It's
Yeah.
freaking awesome. That's what you should do.
well, I've got a couple episodes that have my cousins, kids, so my second cousin's on there, but I'd like to start having some more people on there. It'd be great
It'd be fun.
having you on there.
Well, me or somebody like me saying, just giving you shit the whole time.
Oh,
Say,
yeah.
No. That's way too much of that.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to ruin it.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Whatever
That'd be fun
happened.
for me.
How did the Catherine bag turn out?
I thought it was wonderful, and nobody else. I mean,
Did she say it was leftover lamb?
yeah. Well, no, it was like so. It had been cooked. It was like
Okay, it was still raw.
Partially, yeah.
Okay.
And so that had to be, I put it in the Instapot and then crock potted it for a while. It wasn't like chopped. We're not making that shit in a half an hour.
Yeah.
Which I love that show, by the way. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Chopped.
Yeah, basically, Thomas, Catherine,
That was a chopped, like
Josh's wife, brought him a bag for one episode, and it was
it was a mystery bag, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
so I opened it on camera, and figured out what I was going to do on the episode, and it had a lamb roast, partial lamb roast. It had some really spicy ghost pepper chips. It had maitake mushrooms. It had some mango chutney preserves, and it had black beans
in the can.
Yeah,
or something.
black beans in the can.
Yeah.
I ended up making like these cakes that I drizzled with. I combined the chutney and made like
Good
Yeah.
Lord.
yeah, it's good. Yeah.
That's a little deeper than macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, but fuck, you don't hit on the cheese mac and cheese, dude. That shit's bomb.
That was
I
one of
can't
my
believe you
favorite
have
episodes.
something-
Dude, I've been watching all of them. I've been watching all of them.
Really?
I know,
You
dude.
can check the show.
Yeah,
Thank you.
dude.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I mean, I'd like to get some more subscribers. I can't monetize it till I get to 1,000 subscribers, and I'm like trifling. I'm under 500 right now, but it's fine.
We have 26.
It's
So
grassroots.
you're
Yeah.
doing
So
good.
it's Simmerin Simmons on YouTube. That's the name of the page.
Simmerin Simmons, Simmerin with the apostrophe. Simmerin Simmons.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to type it earlier. So this is what we're talking about here.
Season 2 just came out. yesterday.
We just had season 2. Scrambled egg salad came out.
Scrambled egg salad.
Well, you know,
season
you
2.
fuck with hard-boiled eggs, like they're a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
There's the ghost pepper
Well, you
chip.
have to wait for them to cool.
Pack
You do have to wait
You
for
still have
the
to wait for 'em,
scrambled
but, like,
eggs to cool.
There it is. Yeah, that is the mystery bag.
That was the mystery bag. Okay.
This looks like ginger.
Yeah, great, and some fresh ginger there.
Is that your
Beautiful
kitchen, or is that at your studio?
Yeah,
that's
that's
your
it.
kitchen. That's just sitting at
So
home.
I have a pretty nice kitchen at the studio too, but that's where I live. Yeah.
All right, I think, we're going to do some onion. And we're gonna do
I like the other I like the different camera shots too. So do you have someone
Thank
help
you.
you do it, or are you just setting up cameras?
Oh no, and that's why it took till I had to take a fucking break after 15 episodes because editing that shit is fucking work, and I've got to do the same thing at the studio, and I'm not getting paid for the show. Not that it's about that, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's like editing and bouncing it down. Oh, that's a 4-6 hour process, and
All in
I-
Pro Tools.
Oh no, this stuff I just do in iMovie. I have,
Really?
I have.
I've been doing a lot in iMovie.
I
It's
have
so easy.
that what is it called? Final Cut, but I've not delved into it. I mean, I don't have time.
Cut.
Yeah.
We have.
I don't have time to delve into it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's the problem. Is it takes too long to learn
Yeah.
some of these apps or softwares, especially something like
Well,
So
that.
you record that with your iPhone? Is that what you said?
So some of the angles. So a lot of times there's 3 camera angles, and I have an aerial shot that's one iPhone. I have a shot on the stove that's an iPhone, and then I have a Nikon camera out front. And most of the episodes, the audio has been captured with the camera, but I recently got a lav mic, and I think I'm using it on that mystery bag one. So where the audio is a lot less echoey, more pro. But that's also one more thing to sync up and do and just set up. But it's a labor of love, like anything else that I do. None of it comes easy. Nothing about this business is easy.
Well, we definitely look forward to the invite.
Oh man, I can't wait.
So speaking of the studio,
I'd like to be on his cooking show, Josh.
yeah.
Get with the program.
You'd be the first.
Come on.
Oh well, you've had some children on there.
Yeah.
but He doesn't
Children.
want to be distracted.
Just
I
children.
have a feeling he just.
The whole point is to have guests on there. COVID fucked it up, and then people are trying to come over. We're not going to be cooking in a mask. I'm just not doing that.
No.
Yeah.
For anybody that's concerned, I have been kind of quarantining with my buddy Josh.
that's the wrong motherfucker you want to quarantine with. He almost gave us wrong thing.
He's my neighbor.
I was cleared out early.
He's
That's good.
He's my neighbor. We live like 6 houses down from each other. We've known each other since we were like 12. And the rest of us are good 8 feet apart. From
Yeah,
each
bring
other.
up that
So don't be
picture, Josh.
freaking the fuck out at home. What are you doing with this mask on? Nobody's cooking with a mask on in my place. It's not happening.
Thomas, last night when we were drinking at O'Toole's, Josh admitted that he didn't really fail the COVID test. He was just pretty sure he had it.
That's right.
So he was kind of pulling our leg a little bit.
No. I'm convinced that I have it. Catherine was ashamed of it. She was like embarrassed of it. She just,
dude,
the
it's like
scarlet
fucking-
letter.
we're laying on the couch, both of us laying on the couch. Oh, and I'm like, we don't have it.
No, we don't
It's like,
have it.
look, it's okay.
It's like
Maybe
the
we do.
chickenpox.
It's a good thing. Maybe if we do, we can get
Yeah.
it behind us.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's strong.
She
we'll
just
probably all
refused to
eventually
admit
get it.
Just
Yeah.
embarrassed by it.
Oh, that's terrible.
Whatever.
So, would y'all get the vaccine if it comes out next week?
Nah, I'm good.
Not first thing next week. I'm not going.
Not first.
I mean, dude, I'm gonna tell
That's
you
what
what.
I just had this conversation today. My question is this: I was asked about 5 people today. I got all no's. I said CVS calls. Your appointment is at tomorrow at 2:00. They got your vaccine. Are you going? All of them said no.
No.
My thing is this, man. I've never had a flu shot. I've also never had the flu.
Me neither.
I'm not saying I wouldn't get COVID, but I'm thinking if I got COVID, I tough it out. Like my dad got that shit.
Just like everybody else did.
He made it through it.
Well, not
Yeah,
everybody. No, not everybody. Check this out.
on Easter.
That sucks.
He didn't have COVID though, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, he had it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I guarantee it didn't kill him though, right? He just
Yeah, he was on a ventilator
Yeah.
and, for a week.
So
Okay.
you would get you might get. My thing is this. I'm all about getting a vaccination, but I want to have it run its course a little bit.
Well, that's what's good about this situation because they're giving it to the first responders first,
Yeah.
then the old people,
Yeah.
and we're gonna have. And UK already did it, so
Yeah.
I just want
I'm
some more
and there's
feedback.
people who are like anti-vaccinating their kids. Come on, dude.
Yeah, that,
Get
yeah.
a fucking grip. That's
Yeah,
weird.
your kid's gonna catch a
That's weird.
200-year-old
Yeah,
freaking
the smallpox will come
plague.
back. Yeah. So yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm all
Yeah, I
about
think they said like
people,
I think they
but
said like
I don't know if people
measles
are.
or something's coming back because of that.
Yeah,
Measles.
I'm not a good guinea pig.
yeah. We'll wait.
Yeah.
Wait a couple.
We
weeks,
have to.
You know.
That's what I'm saying. That's the point. We have to. They said Chris Harrison won't get an appointment for it until like June, July or something. Like we ain't gonna have to worry about
Because
it.
he's a bad.
that's a fact.
I'm sorry,
Anyway, tell
man.
me about the studio. If I have a friend that wanted to record something, they could go. Is it that type of studio, or is it like an audio studio where you just cut up stuff? Is it a
Oh
real
no,
studio?
it's full on. So it's an entire house, and every room in the house has some musical functionality. Well, there's a shop in there where there's a fridge, and it's kind of a break room. It stores all the drums, but every other room in the house has audio gear. It's all routed through different for isolation and everything. I mean, I've got a bunch of vintage gear, several vintage drum sets, vintage amps.
What's it
like
called?
Elephant Ear Studios.
Oh, that's right. I wanted to ask you about that name.
Yeah,
Is there any reason?
T-shirt, everything.
No, man, it's legit. It's got a vibe. It's cozy in there. It's as pro as any place you'd
I've
want to
seen
go.
that logo.
But the I like the atmosphere. It's like you're just in dude's house. So a lot of studios are super dope, and they're also intimidating for an artist. It gets a little sterile and it's like fucking overwhelming. Mine is like chill and
Like you're at home.
yeah, correct. But
Hey, mom, fix some meatloaf. God damn it.
There's
Fucking
plenty of,
macaroni and cheese. What the
there's plenty
fuck?
of like real, we're not just plugging into like some, I mean, you can make a great record by yourself at your house on your laptop. I mean, Eilish,
Yeah.
right? Billie Eilish. I think that's how they,
Mhm.
so more power to you. If you don't have that capability and you want to come in and let somebody else help you out, man, I'd love to do it, man. I'm
So what do we look? What are we looking? Let me give you an example. First of all, if you want to book it, call them at 1-804-501-9069. And on this website, you could put in your email subject, message them like that. Studio
Yep.
hours are by appointment only. So I just had a nice dream last night. I woke up in the morning. I wrote this beautiful song. I'm like, I want to go record this shit right now. Just one song.
yeah.
How much is it going to cost me?
So, I get that question a lot, and I think it depends on the artist specifically because I charge by the hour. We'll both end up kind of fucking ourselves if I quote a price for a song because, well, If the guy comes in and is trifling, and we've got 9 hours in it before he's satisfied with the money or the music rather, and I've got $50 an hour in on the line, and we haven't even started mixing yet, and I quoted $500 for the song. I mean, everybody's fucked. So I think realistically, is time is money, and you pay by the hour. Now that might not be the case for everybody. You know, friends, it's just I've tried to just give a flat rate like that, and generally the people who want that don't have a lot of studio experience. They don't realize that a lot of the times, if you think it's going to take you, say, 10 hours to do whatever, it'll probably take you twice as long. Maybe not for one song, but, you know, cats will say, you know, we want to book a day and a half and record our whole album. Well, okay, great.
You better be ready.
You better be fucking rehearsed. You better have done all the pre-production. You better be able to nail that shit in 1 or 2 takes. You better be tight. But that's just generally not the case. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying you can't make records that way. I know there's a lot of punk bands out there that come and record a whole record and mix the record in one day. But I mean, that music kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah.
It's a little rough around the edges, so you can bang it out.
So you have, look at this. He has all his equipment listed on here.
Yeah, dude. We took the tour last night. It's crazy. I really wanted to get some pictures. When I went through the pictures that I took, everything was so dark, and I was trying to bring it up, and I just didn't. I didn't do it justice, so I didn't even want to waste my time, anyone's time, with the pictures that I took. But it's man, the stuff in there is so. John and I were saying today how it was so cool when you walk into a room, you get this musty smell of old vintage things, like going to an antique shop. You kind of each room, you go down to his room downstairs, and there's bass cabinets and microphones up in front of the bass cabinets, and that room is just the bass player isn't going to be in that room. Just the microphone and the amps down there. He's upstairs with the drummer and the guitarist doing their thing, but the microphones have to be isolated so that the bass doesn't bleed into the guitar microphone, or the guitar doesn't bleed into the drums. And it's just a really cool way of doing it. It's kind of like your best friend's house that you grew up in. You walk in the front door, you either go downstairs or upstairs, and there's just cool fucking instruments all over the place. And I mean, it was like a candy land. It's
like
us.
I think of it like a museum. Like, it's part of my job having that studio is to take care of this equipment. I mean, I've got stuff in there that's older than my mom, and it's not like buying a car or something like that. You know, it's like I drive beaters, and you know, everybody that knows me, it's like my priorities are definitely at the studio. But I feel like all of those pieces of gear are not only investment in something I love to do, but help make people make great records. But also, if I was to pass away, like, my wife could turn that stuff into some money if she needs. It's not like somebody's going to buy the Neve 33609 compressor. It's just not going to sit in the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Every room has a purpose.
Oh yeah, there's 2 1073s in there, preamps and EQs, and there's the 33609 compressors in there. There's an LA2A in there. I mean, you can look at the list. I mean, it's a professional studio.
Yes, so I'm looking at the list, and I don't know what any of this shit is, but I'm going to tell you my favorite piece of equipment, and I want you to tell me what it is, okay?
You want me to tell you what your favorite piece of equipment is?
No, I'm gonna tell you what it is. I want you to explain to me what it is.
Oh, okay, got you.
Ready? Mooger Fooger Cluster Flux.
All right.
I love that shit.
So that's funny, and it's a debate on whether it's Mooger Fooger or Moger Fooger. So there's a
That's a heated debate. That's been going on for years.
Yeah.
Well, I think
People have lost their lives over
I
this
think that
debate.
it is Mooger
It's
Fooger,
no
but like,
bullshit.
the company. So Bob Moog invented, basically, or one of the pioneers of synthesizers, and so Moogs are all over all that shit in the 70s, and you'll see them. Some of them have wires and shit all on the circuit boards and everything. So they are a company out of Asheville, North Carolina, and they make super legit shit. Like, their pedals are no joke. They're like $1,000 a piece.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough that I had a hookup. A relative of mine did some consulting for them, and I got on like Friends of Moog and kind of got his hook. You know, I mean, there was still some money involved, but I mean, I didn't pay $1,000 for these fucking pedals. That said, the cluster flux is basically a flanger.
Okay.
And it's the orientation of the knobs, like how you can manipulate this thing is crazy. So I have a flanger, there's a phase pedal, and then there's the I'm just drawing a blank. There's another one that it's basically like a tremolo until you really tweak it, and then it gets crazy.
You had me a flanger.
Yeah. But so you know what a flanger does? If you're thinking about like Van Halen, that song Unchained.
Yeah. It's kind of making big sweeping. Yeah. The phase 90.
Yeah. Well, so phase is different than flange.
Okay. Yeah.
So the phase 90, like that's
like
very,
some old Steve Miller shit.
What's that?
Like some old Steve Miller band shit.
So the best example I can give you a flange that you could probably recognize is the drums on Kashmir by Led Zeppelin. How that whole thing is whoosh, 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 that kind of thing going on.
Yeah, yeah. And so that the whole Moog thing is definitely it's guitar signal going through, or
well, no, I put that on. You can put it on a vocals. I mean, it's in my patch bass, so you can put it on any instrument that's there.
Because whenever I've seen those in the cat, I always imagine that they were something like what Pink Floyd was using when they were doing the looping of.
But you know,
that stuff
for sure. So you could use it on a keyboard. A very popular. There's another pedal that's not in that rack in the picture. That the low pass filter, bass players use it all the time. It's just a great sound.
Yeah, because the filter's like.
That's another thing too. It's like if you wanted to make that investment, say buy one of those pedals for your pedal board, and you decided it wasn't for you, you'll get your money back out of it. It's not like, oh, nobody's gonna like, oh, I don't need the Moog-a-Foger. You know, it
holds its value.
It's a solid investment. Yeah,
specific equipment does hold its value, and then DOD pedals sometimes don't hold their value.
And it's funny, it's just like you get into this and it becomes this gear acquisition syndrome. You know, it's like, for the longest time I had one bass, and now I think I have 10. That's fine. It's what you spend your money on, I guess. It's a passion for sure.
So speaking of passion, you got a fucking house with fucking 8 bedrooms and studios in every fucking room. How did that happen? Like,
it's only
I'm gonna own a studio one day, or did you do that for a living?
So yeah, so I basically started Elephant Ear in 1998 when I moved back to Richmond from St. Louis. I had a band and we wanted to make a record, and I'd recorded stuff on 4-track cassette and all that stuff growing up, and we wanted to make this record. And so I wasn't even hip to computers at that time. So I got into computers so I didn't have to record everything on tape, which I still have tape machines at the studio, which is fantastic, but it's not practical for most bands. Anyway, so I got into computers and would go to like computer shows and start building computers to put in the studio. And it was just in one room in my house, and I lived in the house. And then that was the case. I lived in the house where the studio is now. And I had roommates in there, and it was just in 2 rooms downstairs. And then I met my wife, Michelle, about 11 years ago. And so I moved out of town to be with her, and then we relocated to Virginia Beach. I had a little studio set up there with a little bit bigger of a room.
And you had this house the whole time?
I still had the house.
Yeah.
I had tenants in it.
Okay.
And then we moved back. I did a little renovation of the house. I kind of took over the whole downstairs. And then my wife was supportive enough to say, A, I love you doing this. B, I can't have all this shit in my house, which is, understandable.
Yeah, really. That's fair. That's fair.
And for me, it opened up the ability to bring in more clients, because while I also don't just record anybody, I wouldn't say very particular, but yeah, it's not just for the money. If I don't like what you're doing, we're not doing it. And if you don't like me, I don't want you to work with me either. So it's got to be that symbiotic kind of thing, man. It's like, it's a vibe. And if we're not vibing, because music's super important, and your record is super important. And like, you got to want to work with the people you're working with. So anyway, now that I don't live there every day, it allows me to bring more clients in, because you really have to be cautious if your wife's upstairs or all of her shit's there too. And it's just like, it gets a little sketchy. So now that's not necessarily the case. I've got great neighbors.
I was thinking about that. Is it like all soundproofs, or your neighbors are really
soundproof is an anomaly. They can still hear you, but I've got some treatments up. It's more to protect. It's more to affect how it sounds to the microphones and not to the public. It's going to escape the house. I do have some mass vinyl over the one window in the tracking room, but at the end of the day, too, that's to keep the glass from fucking with the sound. We don't do drums after 10 o'clock, and I've been there for 14 years, and my neighbors are cool as shit. RPD lives across the street. He parks a squad car right in front of the place. I've got cameras. I've got an alarm system. People don't tend to fuck up.
Yeah, from the outside, you would never think that there's a studio,
and that's the way I want it.
Yeah,
it's also why the address isn't online, and people don't just come over just to hang out. It's like we're there to work, or you're not. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, if you want to book a session, it's info@elephantearstudios.com. Telephone number 804-501-9069. You better have a good vibe, or he's not even gonna fuck with you. Understand?
Well, I mean, it's like, and hopefully they like
You
my vibe.
suck.
No, it's not about suck at all. It's like
are we getting along here?
No. I'm glad you said that, because that's why I asked my question. If I had a friend that said, "Hey, man, you know anybody that has a recording studio?"
Absolutely,
probably not gonna send them your way, or should I send them?
Absolutely,
No.
You should
Send them on.
And my thing is, like, I really get off on helping people who need help. I love doing people's debut records or their first time in the studio. I think you're in good fucking hands if you're with me, if you've never been in the studio. Like, it's not like that at all, man.
Good.
No, absolutely not. I'm there to help you. And a lot of times I produce as I engineer, and I try to come up with, I've been doing it a long time. I like to think I know what I'm talking about and helping somebody. But like being able to get an antsy band or somebody who's like bickering with the bass player just because they're uncomfortable, to be able to get on the mic and the headphones and calm them down, or say a little joke or something, or be like, "Hey man, let's take a smoke break," or I'll have a crock pot cooking downstairs. Like, let's get a little snack, So definitely not, man. Amateurs, beginners. I wasn't trying to express that at all. I'm open to work with anybody.
What if most of my friends don't have bands, and they'd be like a 17-year-old white kid named CeeLo? Could you help him out?
No.
So
not if his name's CeeLo.
So
that's not a real name.
I would say this. I haven't done two. If you're talking about like a hip hop thing, I haven't done
Because most of my friends that would ask me for a studio don't have a band. They're gonna try to go drop a lot.
And so in my experience, that's kind of hit and miss. A lot of cats think they can rap or they make beats, and it's like kind of rampant. And it's like, all right, cool. But then it's like, do they have any money? Are we going to be in there just dicking around?
Are they bringing their posse?
Are they? Well, that's definitely not happening.
But you have recorded some hip hop
a little bit, yeah.
Right?
But honestly, dude, it's like I have to, and there's several hip hop things that I enjoy, but maybe that's not my forte, And so maybe it's better for them to, that's why
you wouldn't be able to help them. You wouldn't be able to help them as much as
I'm more of a band guy.
Instruments.
But I am Weekend Plans. We're working on their second record, and they're like jazz funk, but they've got a full band, and there's an MC, Marquise. He's badass. So it's not about rap itself,
Okay.
and it's I think
plus
it's
your studio probably wouldn't benefit them as much because there's no instruments. They have their beat on a beat machine, and it's
and the beat's fine. The beat on a beat machine's fine. I think for me, it's just how serious are they? And it's like, do they? Not that it's about money, but I'm running a business. It's like we're not just. You can't just show up and like think you got it, and I've just heard, man, I'm gonna be famous, and my cousin's a producer, and it's like, okay, great. Where's the money? That's real. Because the mortgage doesn't pay itself over there.
That's right.
And I'm not trying to polarize an industry. It's not just rap artists.
By the story I've heard in the equipment I see, like you said, you have a room set up just for bass and one for the guitar. Like, they're not even going to use that shit, so you might not be the best place for them to go.
Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah. Although, I think I think a lot of it just boils down to personal vibe and taste. You know, if I really dig the music and they really dig me, and then I would kind of be excited to work on something I don't work on all the time. You know, but it becomes more of a, they kind of just need me at that point to record a vocal, and a lot of people can do that.
So did you record Pie in the Sky at your studio?
I did.
Entire album.
I did. I went. So my buddy Adrian Olson owns Montrose Recording, and I recorded a vocal track there. And I recorded with Gravy. We recorded like the full band on eventually. So the guitars were recorded there and the drums were recorded there. And then years later, I took those files and I changed the bass line so it flipped the whole song around, like it inverted how the groove. It doesn't sound anything like what we recorded there.
And so that album, years and years.
Oh, it's like 20 years or 15 years probably.
Like ideas you came up with.
Yeah, and it wasn't like I was intentionally saying I'm going to make a record. It was just like all of these songs that I was writing and recording over the years. And once we moved back from Virginia Beach and I was revamping the studio, I was like, well, fuck, I should just do this. And, you know, I finished putting the studio together. I called on a lot of favors from a lot of friends. There's over 20 artists from Richmond on the album that just wanted to contribute, you know. Everyone refused to get paid. I paid the girls that sang.
Yeah,
I paid them.
Background
and
girls.
I fed them. I made lasagna for them.
Thomas, you really have to listen to this album. It's hard.
Dude,
to,
I was at the CD release party at Carey Street Cafe on Friday, November 27th at 9 o'clock, dude.
No, you weren't. Look at him now. He's got his shit going on. Dude, I'm serious. Remember, I was telling him last night, Thomas, remember when Eugene was on and we were all going around the room like, so what music do y'all play when you're ready to get it on with your wife? And dude, several songs on the album are very reminiscent of what you
way.
Dude, I've been told that so many times. It's fucking retarded.
It's really good. It's kind of a little Steely Dan-ish. It's very like I don't even know. It's R&B, but it's funky. He's got background singers. He's got saxophones, and everything always has a strong bass kind of humming, even if it's not really, you know, dancing up and down the bass string. It's always very present. When I listen to it, I'm thinking, yeah, this guy is the bass player. It kind of it reminds me of something that, you know, it comes from a bass player's point of view.
Sure. I'm playing bass on all the songs. I'm playing keyboards on some of them. I'm singing all the tunes. I wrote all the tunes. I co-wrote a couple of them with my buddy Nate. He's a fantastic musician, video artist, and that guy's just special. Anything he does, he exceeds at.
We got a picture
Or
of Nate.
excels at.
Nate was part of our 15-year-old band back in the day.
Oh
yeah. He's in the one of the pictures.
So one of the pictures I sent you just like recently, Thomas.
Yeah.
Josh was sending me pictures.
So you guys had Marcia
like,
Edmondson on here a couple weeks
ago? Yeah, dude.
So,
he knows Marcia Edmondson.
So they used to date.
No way.
And they were both drum majors at different times in the high school band.
Wait, who used to date?
I thought Josh was in band, so I thought he knew Marcia. He was like, no, I never knew her. And it's funny how you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marcia was great. We told Marcia that we just wanted to talk. We wanted to talk to her about her ghost adventures. We want to talk about being on Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be 10 or 20-minute interview. Then you can go on with your life.
I want to say
she was on for like 2 hours with us.
That's fantastic.
We had so much fun. She popped up in a beer and started drinking. Really? She was on camera with her headphones and her microphone, and she was like. She was very professional, but she's so used to giving the tours,
yeah.
And talking to crowds.
She's engaging.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's a sweetheart.
Yeah,
she was not valedictorian. She was not valedictorian.
Yeah, I made a mistake.
So I used to take yearbook photos on the sides. A lot of senior portraits. I did it for like 11 years, and I want to say she taught at not Thomas. Where did she teach?
Prince George.
Prince George.
Prince George.
Yeah.
She still does.
She is there still.
Yes, she's still there.
Yeah.
French.
Wow.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, she teaches French.
So you recorded your song. You recorded your song after Skydog, before Skydog.
Oh, so
album.
Album.
So like the song that you played on the intro, I've recorded in 2005. Skydog came out in 2009. There's a song on there I recorded in 2000. There's songs I recorded on there in 2014, and then put the album out in 15. So if nothing else, it's like I don't think the album sounds like scattered either. It's just it's uniform, but it's uniform to me. So I have a definite arcing style to how I write, I guess, and put stuff together. I just don't feel like it feels hodgepodge. So Skydog was the thing that, man, shit, we talked about putting that band together for 8 years before we did. Me and my brother Dusty, who's the drummer over my shoulder, and then Brian, who's playing that Les Paul in the middle there. We all worked at Boykins Music down on Broad Street, and so we were working on the towers. Talk about it.
I have a question, but it's not till like the 3:48 mark, I think. Yeah, about 3:47. I got a question. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, I can. Those boys can play the shit out of the guitar. I'll tell you that.
Really?
Yeah. So I have another question. I sent my buddy this because he plays bass and he sings, and he loved it. And he said that guitarist used to play or still may play in a different band.
They all do. Yeah. Everybody has a few different bands. Yeah.
Let's see what band he said.
I'll just say, last time I saw these guys at Broadberry, y'all played way too long. Okay.
Oh man,
look, the crowd was exhausted. I think you're pushing 4 hours, and y'all all seem to be having just a fine time. But it got to be like, all right, you gonna play every Allman Brothers song?
Well, they are a jam.
No,
band,
they were great,
so
absolutely great. Great all the way through,
It's definitely not.
But you get your money's worth when you go see Skydog. That's a fact.
You might get a 2-hour second set for sure.
Yeah.
So when I texted him and he watched it, he said that guitar player used to be in probably the best local blues band I've ever seen, Honky Tonk Heroes.
All right, so so they're not a blues band; they're a fucking country band, and that is Brian, and he was in that band. Yeah, and Farron Hamlin was singing lead, and yeah.
Damn.
He's a great singer too. He's got an incredible voice.
Yeah, they're a country band.
All you guys do, but
he's great.
Yeah, he's
Brian's my dude.
Yeah,
they're all my dudes.
Incredible voice.
And it's just nice to be able to. I mean, we've been together for 12 years now, and to be able to have that kind of chemistry. And
fucking ad.
See
how popular your video is?
We shouldn't have ads. We're paying for that YouTube channel.
It's not on hit. Well, I'm just
on Willie's. It's on Willie's, our guitar player's channel, I think, and rightfully so, because he takes all the time to edit that shit. And I mean, that Elizabeth Reed that's up is 23 minutes. So we talk about me bitching about editing my cooking shows are 6 and 12 minutes long. I mean, that motherfucker had to do 23 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here it comes. I think it's at 3:48.
Yeah.
Oh no, it wasn't 3:48. Look at you though. You're a fucking stud right there. Look at you.
He is, dude.
Damn.
Brian's my buddy. He'll come over a lot, just like lean on me while I'm playing. And I never feel so tall until I see pictures of me next to him.
Really? He gave me a hug last night. Now I'm 6'3", and I was
like, how tall are you?
You're like a
I'm
little
tall
guy.
enough.
I was like, oh, hi.
6'6".
6'5". I'm tall enough.
6'4".
6'5", bro.
6'4".
6'4", 6'5", something around there.
Damn, look at him. He's feeling that shit, boy. I love it.
Yeah.
I hit my head on shit all the time.
I just don't like his shirt, but he's killing that shit.
I don't like his shirt.
Fuck off. That's a great shirt.
That's a great shirt.
Are you talking about that black Western shirt?
Western shirts are coming back in, man.
No, it's fantastic. It's better than anything in your closet, I imagine.
So give us a song off your album that we can play a little bit of that is you can tell us a little bit about. I've got all the list right here, and John can bring one up.
So there's, I mean, I could tell you there's a story behind most of them, but there's like Call In is kind of cool. And then the last tune,
Lump in My Throat.
Yeah, that seems to be really popular. online. And it's weird because I'm doing falsetto in that, and I've never recorded, and I don't really care for it. And people were like, man, it's great. You should just keep it. And that song, the thing that's cool about that song is it goes in a completely different direction than you think it would once from the start. And most people are like, dude, once it drops. So that's kind of a cool one.
So you got a little bit of that, John. Lump in My Throat, number 10.
And so the song is about the song. I'm writing the song to the song.
Wait, what?
You're letting the music play, and then you're kind of like.
So the lyrics, I'm singing to the song that I haven't written. And that's why I have a lump in my throat. Maybe you could be the song. You could be the song that I've never wrote, like a novel on the shelf or some simple little note.
Okay.
Right? Because I didn't have a song. I just had some music. So it's like a love song to the song that doesn't exist. And we recorded this. A lot of the basic tracks in this we recorded in my buddy Nate Griffith's house. This is when I was living in Virginia Beach and coming back to Richmond to renovate the studio house. And my brother recorded the drums in his bedroom in that house with 2 mics on the drum kit, a 58 in front of the kick, and I don't know what he had on his overhead.
I love on a lot of the songs, there's an atmosphere created.
Sure.
It's very visual.
Yeah. So this is the one I did the vocal tracks at Montrose with Adrian.
Okay. That's nothing. Those vocals are nothing like anything else on the.
But it'll change. It'll get to where. There's also a great little making of this album, the making of Pie in the Sky on YouTube that Nate did. It's like a 13-minute documentary. It's really pro.
That's kind of cool.
We go to Brooklyn.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. The making. There you go.
And then JC Cool and the sax.
Look at that shit. That's crazy. Those background singers were not paid. They didn't want to be paid.
They got paid. They were the ones I did pay.
Okay.
I insisted. They did like 6 tracks in fucking 4 hours or something. It was incredible. And I just
2 or 3?
3.
3 girls.
And it's one microphone. I had them around there like the Raylettes, and they had to balance themselves.
Oh, to kind of
yeah.
Where do you find ladies like that?
I mean,
Craigslist.
No, I mean, a couple of them were personal friends prior, and then Sam Reed. She's a wonderful talent in town. I didn't really know her, but my brother did, and obviously since then we love each other. We're great friends. I don't know if all of those girls had ever sang together before, but they worked it out, man. And like I say in the video, not to repeat myself, in the making of it, they were super producible. They wanted it to sound as good as I wanted it to sound, and
so they took direction well.
Absolutely, and they gave a shit. And that's the thing, one thing about me on my record, and like just as a producer, it's like I have definite ideas that I want, and I'd like to use a player and get the right player and let them do their thing, but they can take a little bit like, hey, this is what I'm looking for, and then I just let them run with it. But like the saxophone stuff,
yeah, listen to that.
But so that was cobbled together from several different takes. So the guy came in, he's volunteering his time. He's like, play for like a half an hour, and I just let him rip like several takes. And I would take chunks out of all of them and piece them together and move notes and make the solo that I want. It's pretty untraditional, but like it worked, And it's like it's better than getting somebody in there and like slaving over it. And
that's what Pro Tools brings you. You're able to grab that box and move it over here.
Well, I have very specific desires when it comes to my music, and if somebody's volunteering their time, it's like, well, how can I make the best use of their time for both of us? And if a dude could come in there for a half an hour and then come back and listen to 4 songs that he's played on and not remember playing what he played and start laughing and be like, this sounds fucking great, then I've done both. It's like not like he's embarrassed to say, God, this guy took my sax playing and fucked it all up, chopped it. It's like he's happy with it. So that's another part of the as much as I like the organicness of a band, and that's the irony here is like that's where I've existed for years. This album didn't happen like that. You know, it's almost nothing was played simultaneously.
Yeah.
You know, which is, I guess, cool if you can do it, but it's not ideal.
One of my favorites is Million Miles Away.
That song's about LSD.
Oh, here we go. Okay, we're listening.
Sometimes LSD makes you feel like you're a million miles away.
What happened to my Mary Jane? Because you're up all night.
What's the time signature?
This is 7, 8. So it goes from 7 to 6 to 4. 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. And then the chorus will happen. And it goes to 6, 8. And then it just goes to 4. Or no, it goes to 4 here, I guess. And then it goes to 6 after this. The octave strums. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That hook right there. I love that.
Thank you.
I used to always tell Josh, I want to make music where the timing does change. It totally can just stop.
Well, at the end of this tune, Butterfly gets all super Pink Floyd. We get like Great Gig in the Sky with it, and she's like, doing all that
Oh,
stuff. It's
yeah,
fantastic.
that's great stuff. This is so awesome to be able to pick a musician's brain while listening to his music.
I mean, I
I
appreciate
can't say I've ever been able to do it before, so shower.
It feels a little egomania, so that's all right.
Oh, no, that's what we're here for.
Do you remember when we would play when we were young? And
We played a lot of odd time shit, or tried to.
we did, but we had this argument, and I've never forgotten this because that was totally wrong. But I remember arguing with you and Chris in the band room, saying that we were writing an original song, and we were changed time signatures in the middle of the song.
Yeah. Yep.
And I said, "You can't do that."
You got in the same argument with me, I swear to God.
No.
I promise you we did.
Maybe it was with you.
But
then.
anyway, tell the story. Well, you said with you and Chris, and it was me and Christian, I swear.
No, it was with him. It was with him.
I've thought about that a million times. I was like, no, that's what makes a band tight is when they can go any direction, stop, start, slow down, speed up. That's what, Anyway.
Yeah, okay. Maybe it's
Sorry.
with both of you, but I really remember it with you and Chris because I remember the look on Chris's face, like, because I was arguing it. You can't change time signatures in the middle of the song. And of course, that's retarded. That's ridiculous. And I just remember the look on Chris's face. I remember, like, he just defeated, like, you're an idiot.
You need to.
And I knew I was
Have you ever heard
right.
of Frank Zappa?
I knew I was right. But, come to find out, I was an idiot. But I
We were both frustrated as shit that day.
Yeah. So
I like
do you
your
remember that?
arms. They're nice.
Do you remember that?
Well, so you got to learn about if you're going to work in a band. It's like you got to, you might not all be on the same page at the same time, and everybody's passionate about it. So you're going to argue. You don't hate anybody, and at the end of the day,
I got kicked out of the band.
Well,
yeah.
Eventually, that happened. I guess
that really happened.
Not because
pretty
of that.
much.
Not
Pretty
because
much.
of
Yeah.
that.
Was it because of
Well,
it?
there was a better drummer.
Now we're getting good.
Brian. What's his name?
Brian Nelson.
Brian Nelson.
I mean, he was fantastic. You know Brian.
Yes.
Yeah,
he was
Brian,
fantastic.
Oh yeah, fantastic job.
Hey, I love Josh to death, but yeah,
I mean,
Brian,
Brian went on
Nelson
to
is
play
awesome.
professionally in Nashville.
Yeah, he's a serious drummer.
Yeah.
I
He's a
used
great
to,
singer too.
He was in my English class, and and he would be looking through drummer magazines, and I would just be picking his brain about everything.
Yeah, he was a student of it.
Yeah,
and he was an excellent student. And in
Yeah.
fact, he was, I think, like drum major in the. He was.
He was head of the drum line.
Okay.
He was one of those annoying guys because he was so talented. He was beautiful. He was a pretty looking guy. He was
Beautiful hair.
That's the
handsome.
best hair in the
Long,
school.
He had the
beautiful
best
Yeah.
hair. He was nice. He was cool. He was talented. His family
I
were
hate his
very.
guts.
You really?
Oh yeah, fuck that guy.
I
I still hate
cannot
him.
believe
I
that.
can call him right now.
I lived with Josh, and I never knew
I've
that
got
he
no-
hated Brian Nelson.
Serenity now.
He's also he's very religious. I'm friends with
Yeah.
him on Facebook.
Yeah,
and
that's
he's
what Simmons
seriously
said. Yeah.
religious.
He got
yeah.
really
We've
religious.
drifted
yeah.
apart a little bit as a result, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To each their own.
He had great teeth too.
Wait a minute. He had better hair than this.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe you have that shit. That's great.
That's
Dude, do you
awesome.
have the picture of me in the shopping cart?
Yeah,
Of course we do.
Oh my
of
god.
course we do.
Wait. Do it now.
Yeah, I had the
I
mullet.
Because I was wondering about the shopping cart.
So I had hair more like this most of high school, and then senior year I decided I was going to cut it off. So at first I cut it into like this super long mullet. It was like, maybe it was ridiculous.
Mullet. Bring up
It's
some
just
pictures.
fun to fucking say it. Mullet.
Yeah,
I had the earring.
Mullet.
Mhm.
I
I
don't,
got
wear,
one
mullet.
earring.
I don't wear the earring anymore.
We're
Oh,
bringing
yeah.
it back.
There it
you go.
is. So, like I said, I used to take some senior portraits, and we would like have all these times in between classes when like lunch and shit happened. So there'd be all these backgrounds and different shit, and I would go and fucking put the theater stuff on, and we would just stick around. It was fun. So I ended up shooting a class in that outfit. Like they came in, and I'm like, there's
You're like, all right, everyone.
Yeah.
I got a lot I need you to do.
yeah.
All right, so we play this little game with our guests, and we go through these photos. I think I have 18 of them. We're just gonna go rapid fire. You're gonna tell me where it was,
All right.
anything about the picture. Okay.
Okay, that's fun.
All right, here we go. There's one.
I was in New York City. I want to say it was when we took the album up to be mastered in 2015. That is the house that is the cover of Physical Graffiti.
Physical Graffiti Led Zeppelin album.
This is funny. So my band, the Gold Sauce, is fucking fun as shit. And we played this gig outside, and somebody superimposed that, and it's amazing.
You see how beautiful that photo is? I spent hours. I sent him all of these photos, and I was like, no, I got to edit them first because I can make them prettier. Look at how pretty that picture
That
You
is my
ain't
wife.
making that prettier, buddy.
That is my wife, Michelle, and I. We are at First Landing State Park. These are engagement shots. My buddy Amado Daniel took that picture.
I've been there.
Thomas, his wife, is a 12. Honestly.
She's nice as shit. So I wish you could zoom in on this and look how frumpy we both are. This is fucking amazing. We're at the Mayan ruins in Tulum. Oh, and I totally don't care. I'm like happily married man. Who gives a fuck about style? I got my bathing suit
Obviously.
Oh, but you were there to see the Mayan ruins.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, you did care about that, though,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
on. This was River Rock.
There you go.
Skydog played at River Rock a couple times, and this was the most recent time, like 2 years ago or something. I'm having the time of my life. My band's tight as shit. I'm happy. People are out there smiling. I'm smiling back at them. That's cool. I think that's from the anniversary show. Oh, look, I have the same clothes on.
Mhm.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's the show. you did.
I have the
Nice.
same jacket and everything.
Yes.
It's fine. Oh, so I'm in LA. So that's my brother Zach in a plaid. And so we're both Forrest Gump. He made those leg braces for himself. He had little bolts in there, and they like cut his legs and fucked his legs up. And I'm like, that's what you get for making fun of crippled people, basically.
Mhm. That's right.
You know,
Jesus.
So that is actually the
Right,
actual
Scott.
Forrest Gump shoes.
Yeah, the Nikes.
Yeah. They're that's exact
And
ones.
then that's your brother, you said?
That's my brother Zach. He's my middle brother. So I'm the oldest of three, and so Zach's 5 years younger than me, and Dusty's 6 years younger than
And
me.
he got those.
We're in
mad
LA
pictures.
for his birthday. So his birthday is November 2nd. So I went out there a couple years. Dude, we had a blast that night. That's the day I went to go pick up my vinyl from the pressing plant in Fredericksburg.
Yeah, his album he actually has on vinyl too.
Yeah.
You can purchase
Yeah,
that.
180 gram vinyl.
I'm gonna buy my mother the album for Christmas.
Does she have
Yeah,
a
I saw that on your on the shop section of your website. You have it on vinyl and CD, and then Chris kept fucking babbling the fuck on like he does. But I had a question about Apple Music. Apple Music, how hard was that to get that out? Like, what is the process of actually getting it on Apple
So you
Music?
use an aggregate. You use like I use CD Baby. Some people use. There's so many different ones. And so they handle that. The company handles that. They put you on all the. I could take a beer. That'd be great. Thank you. They use
Because my friend has a podcast and he uploads it to iTunes. He said he had to like do them email and wait like 2 weeks, and now he uploads them. So I don't know if music
like
was the same
that'd
way.
be great. You know, honestly, that the process, you upload it to the aggregate. I know. I gave them like 4 weeks because I wanted to pick an exact date for them to release it. I don't know how long, and they don't give you a time frame that it's going to take, so you don't really know.
Damn.
But if you're going to do like say a release, right, and you want to let like talk about it ahead of time and set up a date, then I would say give yourself a month.
And how much do they take for being on there?
So CD Baby charges you a fee per album. I want to say it's like $85, and that's a one-time fee. And then iTunes takes essentially a $10 album after iTunes takes their cut, and the other stuff you make about $6, about $6.50.
Okay. I always wondered that. I was like, do you have to hit like YouTube? You got to make like 1 million
well,
views.
you know, and now that people aren't like buying it digitally anymore because they're streaming it, and you know, I mean, it's all.
Is it on Spotify as well?
It's on anything you can stream on. But the thing that sucks about all of that is you're not making any fucking money.
Yeah.
You're not making any fucking money, and Spotify's getting rich, and it's like, you know, you got everybody at the end of the year, they'll give you your Spotify, like, oh, this is all the accolades where you listen to, and everybody posts pictures of that. And you're like, okay, great. So you're being heard around the world for fucking free.
Yeah.
I mean, great. So everybody loves your art. And
some people think
how much to do this? You're never even gonna fucking break even. I mean, it's a sore subject for me. It's a double-edged sword. You can't escape it, but people aren't buying fucking records anymore, or most people aren't. Nope. You can't go play music anymore right now. So you're not making any revenue from that or selling your merch. And everybody's streaming your art for free. That I guarantee you got a lot of money. I mean, fuck, I got $3,000 or $3,500 just in pressing vinyl, just in 500 pieces of vinyl. You know, and that's not crowdsourced or anything like that. It's just me working my dick off, paying for my shit. So Spotify, yeah, it's great, and it's cool because everybody can do it. So like the gatekeepers are done, so you don't have to like get an A&R label or you know.
Yeah, I guess that was my point. People were like, "Oh, anybody can be a musician now.
Right.
You can upload it to this and that by yourself."
That's the thing but everybody can be a musician, and just because you're able to doesn't mean you should. Maybe, I don't know. I think it's lowered the bar a little bit, but it's also opened up a whole new world of music for a lot of people. So there's stuff I like about it. There's stuff I hate about it. At the end of the day, it's here to stay. So I would just say, if you're out there listening, stream, but like buy somebody's record. Just fucking buy it.
Because I think I'm doing my part because I got my Apple membership, my Apple Music membership.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I have one too.
It can't be making money off that. There's
no
way.
you're making like a half a cent or a fraction of a cent per stream. You are not making shit. Like I'll get checks. So CD Baby will send checks, and it's for all the streams, right? And they'll send me a check. You can set it up to like when you hit a certain price point, they'll send you a check. So I've set mine up for $50. So it'll be like $65. I don't get. I mean, I might get 3 of those.
So we got 3 live viewers right now. We're about to blow your shit up. You're about to get
ring the bell.
That was a fun picture before, the one with Jesse Chung.
Go back to the other one. Yeah, I was wondering what is that? What's going on there?
So this was a Halloween show.
Okay.
And I always try to find costumes where I don't have to shave my beard. So I'm like Chuck Norris. A little bit of Chuck Norris action. So that's Jesse Chung, and he's a fantastic musician from Virginia Beach. And when I lived in Virginia Beach, I would sub and play some shows in his band. And then I have this band Gold Sauce, and he has Jesse Chung band. So for that place, we were at Doc Taylor's, and we were Chung Sauce. And everybody gets along, so we combined the bands for that night.
How many bands do you have?
Well, let me just say real quick, Gold Sauce is the shit.
Really?
If you're gonna come out, I think in my
a cover
opinion,
band.
if you're gonna come out and see Jeremy playing a band, unless you love Allman Brothers, that's your thing, I would pass on that and come see Gold Sauce, hands down.
So
Fuck
what
that.
kind of cover is Gold
They're a
Sauce
3-piece.
It's trio. We do
They're-
old school
yeah.
spunk and soul like Curtis Mayfield. We do Band of Gypsy stuff too, like Hendrix, but we do like Curtis Mayfield, Johnny Guitar Watson, all old
I'm
black.
just saying, time-wise, you got 3 bands, a fucking YouTube cooking show, and you're
Well,
in the studio.
the cooking show's new. So the cooking show happened when I didn't have time. The COVID didn't allow me to play.
Oh.
If it wasn't for COVID, he wouldn't be here with us
But
tonight.
yeah, correct. I would not have tonight off. True. But yeah, I did have 3 bands. I booked all the shows at a club in town and had the studio, and I didn't have a lot of time. And my Google Calendar situation is like 8 calendars.
Oh, by the way, they did open up for Black Smoke last weekend.
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
Oh, a couple weekends ago.
Yeah.
John, you like blackberry smoke, right?
That was for that was for my wedding, and my one of my wife's good friends, Jeremy, his husband was there, and that was his sweater, and I was like, "Give me that sweater." He says he never got the sweater back. I don't have the sweater. I don't know what the fuck happened to the sweater, but that's one of my mom's favorite pictures. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, that really, is a mom's favorite picture.
And if you look at that picture, I've got fried chicken. I think I've got fried chicken in my hand. So we have fried chicken. No, there's a beer. You can't, it's out of the shot. But like that really defines how dope my wife is. Like her look and how she's pointing at me. That girl don't play.
Yeah.
Damn. I like it. What's this?
Oh, so this is when I lived in Virginia Beach, and we were at Lunacy, and this was Halloween, and they had that shit set up top. And so my buddy Steve Messino's in the middle, and that's DC Johnson. He's a great drummer. He manages the Guitar Center in Virginia Beach. He's the general manager there, and that's just us fucking maybe too many cocktails. Like you see Steve's beer coming out. That's me and Jesse Chong. He is not tall. I'm just sitting. So. There, it's interesting. I have a ukulele bass, and with him, I've played that ukulele bass. I love that picture. I can't remember last time I saw that one. So I've done several shows with him where I've played that ukulele bass for the whole show, and man, that thing's like the thunder. I'll have to bring it on I should come back.
Yeah, you should,
and not be so verbose and just listen to you guys talk, but have a couple instruments.
Yes.
That's Prague. That's one of my favorite cities in the world.
Damn.
I've been to Prague 3 times. I highly recommend you go. And that's Michelle and I just kicking it.
Just kicking it, you know.
Skydog.
That's the bass corner in his studio. He's actually turned me on to putting flat wound strings on my bass.
So
which I bought some tonight.
There's a couple amps there. There's more downstairs. That speaker there is just for band practice. I don't record that. There's an Eminence in there, but that's just for when we track or when we have band practice. The people are like, "Why do you have the TV screen in there?" And it's like, I can be in there working on my own stuff and run Pro Tools with Bluetooth stuff and mirror the screen from the control room.
You don't have to be in the control room.
Yeah, I can be out here. Yeah.
So the Butterscotch Fender, you were showing me how you kind of manipulated it a little bit. You moved all the jazz pickups down like side by side, and then you put a big pickup in the middle.
You're talking about the bass, the tractor bass that I use with Skydog. That's not the same bass.
Okay.
What is this? Up on the TV.
So this is this was us playing at Haas's Deli in Newport News. I think it's one of Willie's first shows. Look at his fucking hair. Yeah. So that is that Butterscotch bass.
There was Josh's arm when he was dancing in the front.
That's me with shorter hair, and I was a little skinnier. I'm going back on my weight. I'm going back on my weight plan.
Is that Jethro front row?
That's Jason Neal back there playing drums in the corner. So Jason became the sub for my brother because my brother joined Chris Jacobs' band and they got very busy all the time. So Jason basically played the lion's share of the gigs for Skydog for 2 years. He's also officially like the sub in Gold Sauce and took most of those gigs. And then he plays full time with me in the Slank. That's a fun little band.
Who is that?
All original. Oh, look at that. That's me and Josh from back in the day.
Yeah, there it goes.
It's us sitting in Josh's bedroom.
Yeah. Look at Josh's little baby face.
Oh. Some things never change.
Oh, I love it, babe.
No, come on.
Is this when Josh was still in the band?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That was my parents' garage right there.
Yeah, that's
Chris,
where everyone
Chris
practiced.
Harrison knows that garage
Yeah,
very well.
I
That
miss that
garage
shirt.
was great. Look at that shirt, dude. You had to go downtown.
I got that at Bohannon's.
Bohannon's. I was just gonna off Harrison downtown.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say you had to go downtown to get a
100%,
shirt like
100%
that.
you did.
That's hilarious.
I got my first pipe there,
Yeah.
maybe my second or third.
Look at
So-
TJ Bell. That's some cool shit.
So I think it would be interesting to tell a little bit about like, your time in St. Louis. Just a little bit about how you experiences you had there and what
Yeah.
you brought back to Richmond with that. So how'd you get to St. Louis?
So it's interesting. So that's a part of my life I don't forget, but I don't think about very much. So my senior year of high school, my dad got a gig in St. Louis. And so he basically moved out there and would come back and forth, and they didn't want to pull me out of school to move there. So I graduated, and then my family moved out there.
When you say gig, he got a job.
He got a
or
job.
He's
A
not a
job.
musician.
Not a musician. Okay.
He is a musician, but it wasn't he got a job.
Okay.
So I went to Virginia Tech, and they moved to St. Louis, and I was kind of scholastically burnt out, so I didn't last at Tech. I dropped out, and I ended up moving at home with my parents in St. Louis.
What year is this?
92. And so I basically wanted to go to school and study music. My dad didn't want me to do that, so I went to school to study engineering, mechanical engineering. And I just got there, and it was cool. The campus was beautiful, and I was just kind of scholastically burnt out. I just didn't want to do school anymore. I didn't want to sit in a classroom. I didn't want to. I'm not good with authority. I didn't want somebody telling me or great. I don't like it. I don't need you. It's kind of where I was. And I was like, I wanted to play music. So I was like, well, fuck it. I'll just move to St. Louis. And I started playing blues out there while working at a Red Lobster and different other kitchen jobs.
Oh, I worked at Red Lobster.
Thomas worked at a Red Lobster. That's
I
where he
can't
met
even
his
smell
wife.
those fucking garlic cheese biscuits anymore. They make me fucking nauseous.
Thomas doesn't like Old Bay anymore.
Dude, I would peel shrimp for
That's
fucking.
a shame.
I would peel shrimp for 7 to 8 hours a day. It's so disgusting.
That's a shame.
I had to quit working in restaurants because I like to cook. But anyway, I immersed myself in the blues scene there, and I was a lot of times the youngest kid on stage, a lot of times the only white person on stage. And it was 100% great.
Yeah,
and
that's
this
really good for a bass player.
Kirk Bryce, older gentleman, dreads, made his own drums and shit. He taught me all the different nuances and the different shuffles, right? There's so many different ways to like wait to that last possible second to fucking just where the pocket is, right?
Yeah, getting in the pocket. I was just
and the
gonna
pocket
say.
is a huge thing. It's hard to articulate to non-musicians, but it's like it's the difference between your band being good and great.
You're waiting to the last second to
sometimes
hit that
man, it's
note.
just where it feels, man. And so St. Louis was great. I ended up hooking up and dating a girl that actually went to high school at Clover Hill. Like we ran into each other at a Widespread Panic concert out there, and I was like, "Are you so and so?" Yeah, so we ended up spending.
What was her? Well, we don't want to say names.
Yeah, I don't want to make her uncomfortable.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
shit got sideways too by the end of it. So
There's only 3 viewers.
Caller.
Caller, please.
There's a good chance that the 3 people listening may know her.
yeah,
So
well, I mean,
we
it's
don't
if
wanna-
this in syndication
we don't wanna
becomes a
do that.
problem.
It's all about
also-
the replay anyway.
I mean, I don't regret that time. I had a good time. My 18 through 22-year-old self, I hung out with a lot of bikers. I hung out with a lot of I hung out in some
Seedy areas.
seedy areas of outside of St. Louis, and like I was 18 in a bar drinking and captain of the pool league team at this bar. Sally's place.
Sally's place.
Oh my god, fucking the bartender. All right, it's too much information.
No, that's good.
Go on.
Fucking the bartender.
So anyway,
Give us more on that.
my dad got this
Let's
gig
explore that.
in Indonesia.
Where's those pics?
My dad?
This bartender look like?
Then this is way pre-Facebook, which is fantastic. So then my dad got this job in Indonesia, and so my mom and dad moved to Indonesia, and they were going to take my little brother Dusty with them because he was still 17, and he was going to go over there and finish high school. And so my brother had this band, this trio called Space Coyote, and with Mikey Whalen Love you, Mikey, if you're out there. And Eddie Broward, I think was this kid's name, who played the bass. I didn't know him, but anyway, they had this band, and I had broken up with my girlfriend at the time after years and moved back in, and the bass player left, and they had to play this Battle of the Bands. So my brother was like, "Man, we don't have a bass player. Will you rehearse with us and play this Battle of the Bands?" And so there was like multiple clubs that were hosting this Battle of the Bands, like 70 or 80 bands or something. We ended up winning this fucking Battle of the Bands.
Nice.
Right. And my dad was there, and we'd had like 2 or 3 rehearsals, you know, and it really hadn't played that much with my brother before, you know, because he's a drummer and it was younger. And so that was our kind of inaugural playing together. And so dad was at the show, and he's like, "Dude, we can't take Dusty away from this." He's like, "This is what he needs to be doing." So my parents signed over custody of my brother to me and moved to Indonesia and left me with a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old in St. Louis in a house in a city. And we made it a year there, and it was a glorious year, man. We had lived in a duplex, and we played in a band with the guy who lived next door, and we had some fucking epic times.
Damn, dude.
Period. You can imagine.
It was only because your parents were so like overwhelmed, like, "Oh my God, my kids have this."
And I guess,
talent.
I guess they thought enough about me to be able to take care of these boys. I guess. I mean, I was 23 years old.
Well, then that explains, because Josh was saying that one of your brothers is like touring the world as a drummer.
Yeah, well, not now, but yeah, Dusty. That's who I'm talking about, Dusty. So he's the drummer with Chris Jacobs' band. He played in DJ Williams Project. He's the drummer in the Skydog videos. He's the guy over my shoulder.
Yeah.
Him and my dad and I are currently working on some songs with Dad singing, and Dusty's been he's been recording all the stuff at his house, playing every instrument, bringing in the tunes. My brother's super talented.
He is super talented. Let me just say this too. Watched him play Gold Sauce, and I think did he originally play in Gold Sauce?
Yeah,
or he just sits in.
Well, so the original drummer from Gold Sauce ended up moving to New Orleans to teach music at Lafayette, and then Dusty joined, and then he got busy, and then Jason is Dusty's sub, but Jason and Luke played in their own band, so they know each other, and Jason's a motherfucker too. He's from Augusta, Georgia, and moved to Virginia Beach with his band Big Mighty. So Jason, that Dusty sub, he played in Carbon Leaf for 8 years.
Yeah, Carbon
Leaf, toured all around with them. But they both play similar and both very different.
Carbon Leaf's like Irish, right?
Yeah. I mean, some
Irish, Celtic,
yeah,
kind of. Bit.
I'm not sure. It's confused.
Yeah,
I think a little bit.
Well,
who is JC Cool?
JC Cool is an awesome saxophone player. He's a brilliant, a very sweet man. He's a great father. I mean, if you want somebody to fucking play tenor on your record, I mean, he played bass, clarinet, and tenor on mine. That'd be my first call. He's a professor.
I was looking at this. You guys did a tribute in memory of Elizabeth Reed, and he played with y'all.
Yeah, he came in with us. Yeah. So he's playing all that tenor on that Pie in the Sky record.
Oh wow!
So that song that we played earlier, that's JC playing that. Yeah.
Awesome. Damn.
He's also in the movie.
You got a movie too?
Well,
you made a movie.
A documentary. Movie.
Oh.
I should say a movie. There's a documentary about the making of that record.
Damn.
Just out of my curiosity, who would you say is your top 5 bass players?
Oh wow. James Jamerson, John Paul Jones, Paul McCartney.
Wow, you never hear Paul McCartney.
That motherfucker is melodic.
I mean, you should, but you
don't.
I'm
a different kind of cat, dude. Like the technical shit.
Arranging.
The technical shit fucking doesn't do it for me. I could give a fuck. Like a lot of guys.
Victor Wooten.
Like he's great. A lot of guys are going to come out the gate with Jocko. Great.
Jocko
But
Pastorius.
he doesn't. That guy didn't influence who I am.
Yeah.
And it's probably obvious because I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
I have to say Barry Oakley because it's the Allman Brothers thing, but James.
Yeah.
John Paul Jones. It was John Paul Jones first. I mean, Days Confused, other than the theme from Night Court.
Yes.
Like Days Confused was the second tune I learned on bass.
Yeah. The Night Court shit was hot though.
Yeah. That and the Barney Miller theme song.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Days and Confused was the first
song I learned
on bass.
And he has his own stadium or something, right? At
Yep, that's it. That's him.
I love it.
Perfect.
That's how good he is.
So I get 3 out there and Paul McCartney, and then it's like I don't really know. Then I get more into like band. I guess Walter Becker because I'm a Steely Dan freak, but it's not about his bass playing as much as his writing and producing. I don't know. It's funny. I've never been into bass players. I'm into the bands.
Yeah.
Like why I like playing bass is the role that is put on us. Like we drive the bus. You got to be.
You're the glue between the percussion and the guitar.
Your ego should be
vocals.
attached to like the song and the group, and not how many fucking notes you're playing or like your solo that you probably shouldn't be playing. You know,
Who are yours?
Ray Brown, a jazz guy, would be great.
Who would you say, Chris?
Honestly, well, mine aren't the ones that I want to be like. They're the ones that I could never be like.
I do like Chris Squire a lot too from Yes.
Yeah. Victor Wooten to me, but I really was something about Jaco Pastorius really intrigues me because he was so like out of control, loose cannon.
I mean, he's arguably the greatest bass player ever alive. I mean, he got beat to death because of his attitude, right?
In the way that he was always twitching with the fucking knobs. Yeah. He put more mid-range into his bass than anyone I've ever seen.
Because it cuts through the mix.
And he put it he would always pluck way at the closest to the bridge as he could possibly get. And it sounded like horns, more like.
And the cool thing about that technique, when you're playing close to the bridge, the string is tighter there, so it allows you to be quicker.
It's a little.
You can do quicker passages. That back there, but that's totally his sound. And for a lot of cats, like, I want to say, even like if I'm going to add to the top 5, a local guy, Andrew Randazzo, he's my friend. He plays in Butcher Brown. That dude is a motherfucker. And Andrew, if you ever see this, you're on the fucking list, dude, and you know it. That guy is the shit.
Yeah,
and he can play groovy. He can do all the karaoke pick stuff. He can fucking solo his dick off. I don't know if I've never really seen him slap, but like slap, it's like, that was a faded thing for me. I love the way Victor does it. I don't have any inclination to want to sit there and figure out.
Weird thing with his thumb that I will never be able to do.
It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
You did it for a little bit.
I think everybody did it for a little bit. I had a Lewis Johnson VHS tape,
slapping the bass.
Shit, that Lewis Johnson videotape made me buy the Ernie Ball that I had for a while. I was like, you could do it like that. It's just, I guess it's all what you grew up with. But I'm way into like blues and Motown and just groove bass. I guess I had to put Carol Kay on the list. I know we've got it out of the top 5, but I mean, Carol Kay, I don't know if you know who that is, but she played everything with a pick, which is a great sound. First of all, if you're a bass player out there getting started or whatever, when somebody will tell you to play with the fingers or a pick, you got to be able to do both because it's a sound, it's a technique.
Josh and I have talked about this a million times.
It's not people like, oh, I'm a purist. It's like, no, you're just an asshole.
Yeah,
or kind of uneducated, right? It's like the pick is valid.
I definitely went through a stage where it was only fingers,
yeah,
but at the same time, you have to, if you can only pick, then you're kind of not really.
They're just different sounds. It's
really
like saying that you're not going to play your trumpet with a mute in it.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For
it's
years,
like,
I didn't want to pick up a
I'm
pick.
not going to drive automatic. I'm not going to drive manual transmission because I'm an automatic transmission.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I only ride a horse. Fuck that car.
Yeah. For lack of a better example. But,
I only have sex with men. I don't like. Wait a minute. I don't. Maybe that's not.
No, that's not.
Okay.
That's not.
I'll just stop talking.
Yeah, nothing's anything wrong.
I think we're halfway through that bottle of bourbon, so
we haven't even gotten close.
We haven't started yet, have we?
Really.
This picture was taken at we had a little camp out show at the drummer's property, Keith's property with Skydog on October 3rd, I think. And that's me and Brian fucking in the parking lot behind the stage, loving each other, taking a little selfie.
Shout out to Mike Mosley in the comments. He said, "That beard, though. Look at that."
I grew up myself. It's just better than y'all looking at my face.
Yeah. That's awesome. Oh, this is dope.
Just before I forget.
That's a great one.
Can tell them about the fucking drug addict break-in into the studio.
I don't want to talk about that.
You don't talk about it?
I don't want to talk. I don't
No.
need, that doesn't need to be public knowledge, and it wasn't until just now. So
It is.
Way to go, Josh. God,
Look,
man.
sometimes crazy shit happens.
It's always an hour and a half in.
There's crazy
and
people
frickin'
out there.
Josh has COVID or some shit.
No. That's behind me.
that's my brother.
Yeah,
I took that picture when we were on stage at River Rock the first time. I think.
Is your brother a better drummer than Josh?
I will answer that.
My
Yes, he
brother
is.
and my brother's a better drummer than I'm a bass player.
His
Yeah.
brother's on. Yeah,
I mean,
his
my brother's
brother's-
the shit, dude. And that guy can play his fucking that dude's got it.
He just
Yeah.
ain't fucking with
He's
no
a
gig.
fantastic
Yeah, a
musician.
little something.
I'm not taking any credit for that shit.
Listen, I could tell when me and Jeremy were when we started playing together in our band. Dusty was 8 years old.
Dang.
Zach was 9, and Dusty was just starting to play drums. And that kid would wail on them drums, and he would play. I remember when you were so proud he learned how to play "Good Times, Bad Times."
Yeah.
Where it's a double kick, did it, and he would do that. Dusty could do that at 8 years old, and it was
Hey,
like,
Jeremy, I have a Facebook
kid
friend of mine that just commented. A Facebook friend of mine just commented and said, "Long time no see."
Jacob Niner.
Well, that's not his
The
last
IATSE. What's up, Jake? I can't
Local
put it.
87.
I'd love to see his face. I can't place it.
I might be able to.
IATSE. It's the International Association of Teamsters. God, I'm gonna fuck this up. It's basically it's like the stagehands union.
Oh,
I don't. Sorry guys for fucking the acronym up. I don't fucking know.
He's also the president of the 49ers chapter in Richmond. That's
To
why
be
his name-
fair, I wasn't a union. I was like, we have a right to work state in Virginia, so I could get gigs without being part of the union. And man, some of that stuff is just good old boy. Like, man, some of those dudes on the gig, they're there because their fucking uncle's there, and none of them are fucking qualified. And it was trifling.
Yeah.
And like join the union. I was like, fuck. No.
yeah.
In New York City, up here is like terrible. And those dudes, it's like fucking glad-handed and passed on down. Somebody's gonna kill me in my sleep probably for talking like that.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's
The
like,
Teamsters.
oh, you can't move that cable. We got to get a guy and like, oh, well, when are we gonna get our break? I mean, I'm not anti-union, but some of those motherfuckers just aren't qualified. It's dangerous, and especially you're unloading a truck and shit, something flying off a truck and like lose a hand.
No motivation to do any better than the guy next to you.
Yeah, which is just sad, really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I probably won't share this link.
No, you got to.
Oh
Go.
my god, it's funny.
They don't care that much.
That's funny. Nobody cares.
that's a fact.
Who cares? That's the whole point of the podcast.
Really.
Well, and I'm not saying anything I don't really believe. I had to stop doing that gig. I love setting up for shows, and like we used to. I set up the wrestling rinks, and I set up for George Strait one time, and fucking Justin Timberlake. We had some great times, but just like some of the dudes that were in charge on that gig were fucking sketch, dude.
You set up for Justin Timberlake?
Yeah, at John Paul Jones Arena.
He said we worked together often.
Absolutely. I mean, I had some great times, and I met some friends, and a lot of those people were just great people. I look forward to going to that gig. It was a lot of times you'd show up and you'd set up in the morning, obviously, and you get off at 2, and then you'd have to come back for loadout at like 11:30. My favorite shit was like wrestling, and you could like watch them like rehearsing all the fucking moves because everybody knows that shit's not real.
Wait.
Tom, earlier podcast, Thomas told us that when he was little, he had a huge argument with one of his sisters that wrestling's not real, and it just devastated.
It broke my heart, man. It broke my fucking heart.
We did this one gig where they had the ladies of wrestling, and they were like had a water balloon fight, and like you can imagine the wetness and all of the things.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
so
I'm
you get paid
imagining it
extra
right
if you
now.
like a cable page, and the cable page is like the guy has a camera, and you there over there like feeding cable or taking cable up and just staying there. So I'm getting paid like seriously good money. I've already been fed. I've already worked all day. And do you want to be a cable page? Like, sure. I mean, like serious good money to fucking watch this shit right there while these chicks are fucking kind of pretty, throwing water balloons at each other. And I'm just getting paid, making sure nobody dies on this fucking cable. I got that all day, dude. I could do that every
Really?
fucking day of my life.
Damn.
I'm telling you that right now.
How do you get that
That's
job?
what I'm saying. It's who you know. All who you know.
Damn,
So
I
that
want people-
acronym would be International Alliance of Theatrical of Stagehand Employees.
Employees.
See, there you go. So
There you go.
I don't know even when I said it was terrible. It's embarrassing.
Well, look, I'm this is unusual for me to sit here with two guys, but both you guys that I've spent so much time with, not only just in life, but at the above my parents' garage.
Really?
Jeremy, I met him instantly. We went to my parents' garage because I started jamming with Mike Butterfield, and Mike said, "Well, you gotta meet my friend Jeremy." And we were 13. It's like, okay, who's Jeremy? All right, well, so we hooked up with Jeremy. My drums were in my bedroom, and then once.
I don't remember that. They were in your bedroom?
Yeah. With Mike Butterfield. Yeah. And then so we moved everything upstairs, but we all cut our teeth up there above the garage. And then for years we were up there playing, hanging out, drinking, sneaking drinks, sneaking weed, sneaking whatever.
Ruining an air conditioner.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh yeah. Freon, yeah.
And the bathroom. When you went to the bathroom, his dad had the best dirty magazines ever.
Oh yeah.
They were like from other countries and shit.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, that was the good shit. My dad had that.
There's a little extra red, and the bushes are all like
Really
huge.
Bushy, yeah.
So crazy.
Dude, I'm a fan.
Shit
I
you
don't need a
never
ball. I
saw.
don't need a ball vagina. Look, get some stuff out there. Nobody want to make up with a fourth grader.
I agree. I agree.
Put a little.
But I grew up on
All right.
Penthouse. So
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Club too.
I don't mind the hair.
Hey, Pinky.
What were you saying, Josh?
Sorry.
Yeah, so no, I'm just wondering, were those magazines still there when you came around? Were they still there when you came around? Because that was 10
They
years
were
later.
definitely there.
Everybody
Oh, yeah?
took those
And
extra
some
long
of the
shorts.
things we were doing up in that room.
Yeah, by
man,
then
I was like,
there's-
I need a break. I need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
He's
too
been
many
out there
fucking
for like
breaks.
45 minutes.
Yeah.
Really.
Pages all fucking clumped together. Can't even see the
I
3
swear,
pages because it's all clumped together.
I
Say no-
remember one night the sun was coming up and we were so keyed up. We were like, just one more song. Let's just do one more song. And the fucking sun was coming up, dude.
Oh, shit.
And your dad was sitting in
Never
there.
cared. They never cared. We would play till forever.
His dad wanted to be right in the middle of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Keith was fucking fantastic. One of a
Was
kind.
Keith ever good when you were? He was already kind of not like, he was a little slower and he wasn't really able to play with us anymore. Did he,
He
play
never
with
really
y'all?
played
No, he
much.
never really
He
played.
would
Okay,
always just
okay.
watch.
Yeah.
I remember he and
was
I
just a
would fiddle
facilitator.
around, but
He
I
was
would,
a
I could kind of
facilitator.
catch on that he was a little
Yeah.
like you were saying, he loves the gear. He bought several amps and stuff from me, but
Yeah.
he was more like a gear, and he would never sell any of it. He was
No,
a
no.
collector.
No,
But yeah,
I had to
yeah.
wait till he died, and that sold everything. I had a tremendous amount of shit to sell
Really?
or give away because But yeah, he would never sell anything.
Poor
It's
fella.
a double rainbow.
Oh shit!
It's a double
Oh,
rainbow.
you're still there.
Yeah. That was I want to say that was taken. What the fuck? What did I take that? What does that say? Summer solstice. I can't remember where that was. Honestly,
Summer
Fucking,
Solstice double rainbow.
it was July 20 or June 20th. Oh, that's my dad.
Yeah,
Looks just like me. It's
Yeah.
weird.
your dad was scary to me.
Yeah,
Weird.
he's still scared a lot of people.
Yeah,
So that's fucking funny, right?
that
Yeah, I don't want to have to explain it to you. Once you figure it out, it's funny. Yeah, it'll sink in. I wish I'd come up with that. That's not me. I just stole it. I want to get that on a t-shirt.
Hell yeah.
Chicken pot pie.
oh chicken pot pie. Okay,
That's what a brainiac
chicken pot pie. Okay, got it.
That's a good one. That is a good t-shirt.
All right, how's this going? Is
That's
this a good pot? Are we doing good? Am I doing good?
I don't.
I feel like I'm
bad
talking too much
You're
about it.
doing great. It's great.
No, it's-
It's weird. It's weird to ask people ask you all these questions about.
So, when you show me your engagement photos, like, how long have you been married?
We will be married. It'll be 10 years in October, but we've been together 11 years. I met Michelle in August of 2009. It was on a gig. I was in this Johnny Cash tribute band, Black Cash. And we were in Charleston, South Carolina, and
so one of the boys in the band grew up with her, knew her since like 5th grade or kindergarten rather, since they were 5. And we're going to this gig, and he's like, "Hey, my friend Michelle's coming out to see the band tonight." He's like, no, she's totally off limits. Nobody fuck with her. That kind of thing.
Like us. With
So
coming around.
Really?
No.
So we're I'm driving the van the whole way. We're pulling the trailer. As we get off the exit in Greenville, the fucking truck, the conversion van blows the tire with the trailer on there, and everybody else in the band is like a $1.05. So I'm the only one, a grown ass man enough to like be able to like lay in the damn ant infested grass and jack the fucking van up and change the tire. And so I'm fucking just out of it, man. I've driven the whole way. I changed the damn tire. We get to the hotel. I'm like, man, can y'all set my rig up? I need to take a nap and take a shower and just decompress. And we all wore suits to that gig. And I remember like the whole band got there before me. And I guess I'd say the story because Michelle says that she'd already met the whole band. Then she sees this guy just come lumbering up over the hill, me. And we met. And I remember that she was fine as hell. And she had the girls happening. And I was eye contact city. I could see the girls. It was all peripheral. And she noticed that. She's like, he looked me in my eyes and shook my hand like a man.
Talking about the breast.
And so set break happens, and my buddy Derek is like, dude, you should go talk to Michelle, man. I'm like, dude, whatever. I'm like, no, man, she's off limits. He's like, no, she asked about you, and he's like, I love both of you. He's like, it wouldn't bother me if y'all hit it off.
Oh, so you got the
the nod from the buddy.
Uh-huh.
And so, I hung out with her that night and woke up the next morning, and I never wanted to get married in my life. And I woke up the next morning and knew I wanted to marry that girl.
Damn.
And it wasn't about the pussy. I mean, everybody's had plenty of pussy. But that's fine.
So
She's
the
like,
next morning,
She would love to hear that.
she's heard it. She's heard
wasn't about the
I've told her this. She's heard the story in front of her. I'm not saying anything on this microphone that she hasn't heard. And so yeah, at our wedding, we had my buddies have this band 3 Sheets to the Wind, yacht rock shit, which I love all that music.
I love yacht rock.
And so that's the band with me and my brother and Michelle. We're down in Sandbridge. That was a fucking great wedding.
Sandbridge.
We had
They're
fried chicken and pork
Sandbridge.
barbecue. Yeah, but Michelle is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I've never made that a secret. She totally supports me. She knew who she married. I mean, fuck, for Christ's sakes, a lot of guys are lucky to have a man cave. I have a man house with a studio in it that generates fucking money. And like, she supports. Like COVID hit, and I was like, maybe I could go get a job doing something. She's like, no, just keep doing the fucking studio.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that's all any of us could ask for, man. Is a team like that.
Yeah, I met her last night, and she was wonderful. She was so nice, and she was
Chris Harrison. Is that the first time you ever met her?
Yeah. I came over and gave Catherine a hug, and we all sat down, and she couldn't have been nicer. I swear, she was wonderful.
That's our first time playing at Elevation 27 in Virginia Beach. It used to be Jewish. The old
Jewish mother.
The new old Jewish mother.
The new old Jewish mother.
It became the Eagle's Nest for a while.
So Jewish Mother is not in Virginia Beach anymore.
No, it's not. They don't know.
Damn.
No, and that was a staple.
It was.
I think they were gone. I was in the military down there, and I was from 96 to 2000. I think that's when I was down there, it burnt down or something and didn't reopen.
You were a Navy guy then.
Yep.
Yes, he was.
Thank you.
I guess he.
Thank you for your
always
service. I could tell by the seal behind you now that I'm paying attention. Thanks for your service, man. Our buddy, if you go back to that picture with me in the tie-dye above Josh's garage, that's Chris Barnes on the right-hand side. He retired as a Chang, and like he used to take shifts with him, and another guy would like make sure, like basically sit in the Persian Gulf and turn an aircraft carrier around.
Good Lord.
Like they would because you know
Thomas was on aircraft.
You can't just fucking let it fly into so they would have 12-hour shifts and smoke cigarettes and just say the boat would go, they turn the boat around, the boat would go, they'd have to turn the boat around. Like that's what him and another guy did. So basically a chief engineer is a Chang, third in command on the boat.
Okay.
Yep. Chief engineer. Hey, TJ Bell says, cool ass cast this week, y'all. I'm out in the shop and this is super chill and badass. Play a song. I don't think they're set up to play it. can't play a song.
Yeah, we're not really set up to play. We're begging Jeremy to come back, and we will come up with a couple songs that we can jam on. If TJ's still watching, I do want to show something to TJ before
He's still there.
We did get our guitar kits. John and I did.
Are those from Warmouth?
No, it's what was damn. It's we've talked about the company, and I'll come up with it on my phone.
Bargain Musician.
Yeah, bargainmusician.com. And TJ, this is my precision bass. I'm literally gonna hand this piece of wood to TJ, and I want him to carve some type of American flag, something or other. I was thinking that I wanted to tell him what I wanted on it, but I kind of want to just give it to him and let him do what he wants to do with it. And then maybe once we get it all together.
So it's not routed for a P-bass pickup, though. You're gonna have it change it. I mean, they could fit in there, but it's like cut out for like a Music Man pickup.
Well, it's the pickup that comes with all of the stuff. So whatever the pickup that it came with, that's going to be the thing that I might upgrade.
You should put Lindy Fralin
based
in there.
on.
You know about Lindy Fralin, right?
No.
So Lindy Fralin is like one of the premier pickup makers in the world, and he's a Richmond guy. Like
Really?
he makes stuff for all the cats.
Well, then that would be cool because I was thinking about
get a Lindy Fralin, and you can go there and fucking talk to him.
I was thinking about Bartolone or something.
No, I don't put a battery in that fucking thing. I like that telly style.
Well, no, I have a Bartolone pickup, but that doesn't have. That's passive. Yeah. Yeah, but it's definitely pretty cool, and the kits are well done. The fretboard is over in the box over there, but yeah, TJ, if you're watching, I'm gonna give this body of this bass to Thomas to give to you, and I don't know, maybe when we're done, we could auction it off to like military something or other. I don't know, but we kind of want it. The kits that we've been talking about. John got a Telecaster in the mail today or yesterday, so he's going to start building his too. For $150, you can't go wrong building your own instrument. It doesn't even matter if you can't even play the instrument. Put it up on the wall. You fucking just built a fucking a playable instrument. Why not?
For those of you who don't know, TJ Bell does TJ Bell Woodworks, carves out anything really you want to do. Anything. I mean, just mostly American. We started with American flags. That's a 10-foot American flag right there.
Is TJ Bell listening right now?
Yeah, he is.
That's why we brought it up, because TJ was saying that he was working in his wood shop, and he loves the cast tonight. He loves our new co-host Josh Sullivan.
I think that's pretty much what he was referring to.
Yeah, he was pretty much like, I love the beards. I love the long
hair, TJ.
Yeah.
And
Speaking of the devil, look who we have.
Oh, there.
What's up?
Is
TJ Bell listening right now?
So,
hold on.
TJ, do you are you familiar with the comedian Theo Vaughn? He has a podcast.
I am Theo Vaughn. Yes.
This past weekend.
I mean, I've heard the name.
Okay, all right. Then that's it. That's because he has a American flag in his background of his set that looks exactly like the kind of stuff you do. So
let me turn this machine off. Hold on.
Yeah, do that, motherfucker.
Yes, to see some of the stuff Josh does by hand, and then some of it he has a CNC machine.
Yeah, I got a Marine one going on the CNC right now, but
should be.
This is a super. Yeah, no, I saw it. I saw what you were holding up.
Yeah.
So what you gonna do with it?
I don't know. I ain't got my hands on it yet.
Yeah. I was trying to come up with the ideas of how I wanted you to carve on it, and I'm going to be buying several of these kits because I really like them, and I think it's a cool thing to, I'm really into it.
That's really, really pretty.
Yeah, I'd like to hand this to you.
Oh wow, dude! Check that out.
Yeah,
is that a cutting board?
It's like a flag, like a big wooden flag. He makes all kinds of
It's decoration.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah, very-
decorative stuff.
very
So
talented.
A lot of
very
it has to do with military
Yeah,
veterans.
That's a
and
Marine
stuff.
thing there.
Yeah.
That's 9/11.
I can't decide which one I'm looking at because I'm watching you on the TV while I'm in the shop, but there's a delay between the phone.
It's definitely gonna be delayed. This is a never forget all black one with the twin towers in the middle. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
So
Hey, you're doing
Yeah, that
all
one was fun.
that's your beach photos. That's your house. That's your
Was that Twin Tower one by hand, TJ?
No.
Yeah, no, the tower one I did by hand.
That's
Okay.
really talented, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And this is definitely one of the cooler podcasts. Like I said, I forgot it was Friday. I came out here tonight. I got like 10 of them I got to do this weekend. I just finished up this ugly ass Dallas one.
Ugh.
Yeah, beautiful. I love it.
This shit is
Look at that.
trash.
That's the American flag, Dallas Cowboy colors.
Shit is junk.
You got
But-
that. You love your art.
So what's the name of your team again? Do y'all even have a team?
Yeah, we're the Washington whatevers. I don't know.
Whatever.
That just beat the undefeated Steelers.
The Redskins have just made a little potato fucking basket.
Yeah. That Steeler game, I went to bed like I was like, screw it. It was halftime. It was like 21-3 or some shit. I went to bed. I was like, I'm not even worried about it. I
That was
woke
the
up
first
like,
time
what
I
the?
cheered for Redskins in years. I loved watching the Redskins
I did
beat
too.
the Steelers. It
I
was
did
wonderful.
too.
They just won.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it might have
was
been the
rooting
first
for
time in
the
my life
Redskins.
I was happy that the Redskins were beating the shit out of the fucking Steelers.
I'm just,
Watching Roethlisberger fucking so mad, it was just great. It's almost
I'm just glad Alex Smith is still walking.
yeah,
Every
really.
time he gets hit, I'm like, please. And hell, in this last game, wasn't he bleeding out on the field out of his other foot or some shit?
Yeah.
I don't know. But no, this cast, like I said, I came outside tonight to do some work and I was listening to to Pandora and I got the notification. I was like, shit, it is Friday. And I turned it on and man, this is a really cool cast. Like this.
Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah.
About it's because Pinky's been holding the show down this day.
This
Hey, Pinky,
guy
I have a
has
question
watched
for you.
every show, and he really loves the cast we have.
Pinky.
Yes, he's watched every show. and he
Well,
really-
TJ,
he's
with
a-
that, we got
Pinky.
nothing, obviously. I mean, you
So
are
what makes tonight so much more interesting? It can't
You
be-
two bad motherfuckers right there. You two
Yeah.
bad motherfuckers.
So to be perfectly honest, what I'm getting out of it that I really dig is like this flag stuff. That's not my regular gig either. I do IT work for Henrico County Public Schools, but this is what I really love doing. And it's just cool to see other people that have a real passion for their. I mean, you turned your house into a studio. That's dope. I mean, what do you do? It's
then,
just
Yeah.
And Chris and them. I mean, y'all have been here for a minute now as well, and y'all are in the same boat. But when I come out here, I just listen to music. I love music. I'm not musically inclined at all, like not a bit. I just get down on different stuff, and it's just I don't know. It's a really cool vibe. Like I said, I just get out. I start grinding. I start painting and sanding, and it was just in the back going. I was like, man, this is cool as shit. So yeah, no, it's just really cool to see people that got a passion for what they do. Not trying to kiss your ass. I don't know you.
No,
I'm just saying.
You got a turntable in there? I'll send you a record.
I'm definitely actually going to go to the site. I'm going to buy something. At least I do not have a turntable, but I'd like to at least contribute, especially after hearing the whole iTunes thing and making 3 cents off of shit.
Not even 3 cents, half a cent.
Half a cent. Yeah.
So, and if you buy the CD, my cheese dip recipe's in there.
I like cheese dip. I do like cheese dip. So
you buy the CD, it's fucking in the liner notes.
Awesome.
Bob Evans.
I got you. I got you. And like I said, it's just been a really really cool
word
chill cast. I mean, I don't really know. I mean, like I said, Chris and Pink, y'all have been here for quite a minute now, but
TJ.
I don't know. I maybe it's just the mix of all of y'all together. It just everything flowed real. It was real chill. It was real cool. All the pictures, the Mayan, the Mayan, Aztec, whatever the hell they were, that was cool as shit.
The Mayan ruins, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So I mean, it was just really cool. It was really, really cool. So I wanted to chime in and say that I've actually really thoroughly. This is my favorite podcast, other than the one where my daughters had to shave my head.
Yeah,
But
that was a good one.
Okay, well, we understand.
It looks like it's growing back a little bit.
little bit. That was for charity, though. We raised a lot of money, and my daughters got to put me in a dress and shave my head, my beard, and put makeup on me. But we raised a lot of money.
Who cares? Podcast episode 7. Check it out.
Yeah.
Code was we'll have to check that out. 07. Thomas, pull your microphone up a little bit. It's dripping down to where, there you go.
Yeah, we were just raising money. It was for the Richmond Fathers Association, something like that. It was
wasn't it. Say it again. You said it wrong. What was it?
Fuck if I know. I'm trying to remember. The Richmond Relationship Association.
Dads do dumb things for charities.
Yeah, the dads do dumb things for charity, and I think my goal was like, I think if I hit 500, I'd do whatever. But we ended up getting like 1,200.
Did you ever do the ice bucket challenge thing?
He who cares him. That happens a lot.
Dads do dumb shit. I got a funny story real quick.
Mean. He just ejected him.
That's kind of it's the who cares thing. Sometimes you'll get asked a dumb question in the middle of explaining it. That's your
that was really nice though, what he was talking about.
Yes, it really is. TJ has watched every episode.
I'm saying what he was talking about with it, like him talking about charity being booted off, then that was me.
I know.
Yeah.
It happened.
Yeah, it's a charity we did for about 3 weeks called Dads Do Dumb Things for Charities. Hey, y'all should for real, check out that podcast because it is a good program.
Yes.
It just reminded me of somebody said dads do dumb shit. It just made me think of my dad, and because he did a lot of dumb shit.
You watch some and do some of it.
We know about that, and it just reminded me of a story. I remember the first time I saw my dad's penis.
I saw my dad's too,
and I had to tell him, Dad, you gotta stop texting me shit like that.
Oh,
nice. Good one.
Thank you very much.
John Speaks.
Yeah.
Did you do
For
that?
real? Had a blast. Thanks, TJ. And I'm gonna be sending that bass over to you, and we can do something.
Josh.
If you make it real pretty, we can start sending you instruments all the time.
If you buy the vinyl from the shop at the website, you get the fucking cheese dip recipe, and I will sign it.
Not the vinyl.
The cheese dip recipes in the CD.
The cheese dip recipes in the CD.
I'll include the cheese dip recipe though if you buy the vinyl.
Really. Yeah. He'll sign the vinyl and
I'll fucking give you the cheese dip recipe right now.
Really?
That's right.
You think I'm fucking around? It's Bob Evans Queso Fantasy Camp. That shit is badass. People will be hovering over a fucking crock pot at your party. Like, what is this? Get away from me. Fucking good. Everybody likes a good cheese dip, don't they?
Yeah.
Except lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
Balls.
Yeah.
Like never met nobody that hasn't.
Yeah. No, but to your point, man, like I want to reiterate that everybody's welcome at the studio, and we can figure out whether that works for them and me or both of us. And it's certainly not always about the money or ever about, it's I didn't build that shit. I'll probably never make enough money to pay back all the shit I've invested because there's a hefty amount of fucking money there. That's not why I did it. At the end of the day, your buddy TJ talked about passion, and the fact that somebody like that picked up on that's what I'm radiating, that's real. And that is real because this is what I do. I do it on purpose. At almost 47 years old, this is all I mean, you talk to somebody in high school that I went to high school with, if you told them what I was doing right now, they'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. That's what he does.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to kind of ask you. I after interviewing Josh, not so much Chris Harrison, but whatever. But after Josh, and I knew I was going to be interviewing Jeremy, I was literally driving my wife to work today. I said, do you sometimes wish that I was like this cool fucking guitar playing fucking kind of cool ass dude? she's like, no, I love you for who you are. I was like, no, but for real, like just sometimes.
You're okay.
Because I feel like y'all been slaying dick since like 13 or 14 if you play an instrument.
That's church, baby.
I
That's
mean,
church.
you know, I don't know.
So there's that.
I honestly, I never thought about. I don't think about it that way. But I dare say that I probably wouldn't have my wife if she hadn't seen me on fucking stage. So that might.
That's
be
what I'm saying. Like, but all right, let's go
When
pre-wife.
we're at home and we're walking the dog, and I'm in my fucking pajamas and the socks I've had on, the wool socks I've had on for like 3 days in a fucking row. They're covered in like bark and different stuff from carrying wood into the house. She's not going, "Oh, I love my little rock star." It's like, you know, just right. Everybody.
No, I want to talk about pre-wife. Like, were you just in Virginia Beach, just like putting up numbers?
I was with my wife in Virginia Beach, and she'll be the first to tell you, like, I'm a serial monogamous dude. Like, I am not the guy with fucking a bunch of girls at one time. I mean, I've had my stints and my one night stands, but like, I like somebody who I love, and I'm more into like having a partner and a buddy and somebody that I can articulate life with. That whole like hookup culture is kind of gross to me.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. Plus, we kind of missed it with this whole social media shit. Now, Josh, let's talk about pre-marriage. Josh, were you slaying it or what?
No.
Well,
yeah, kind of.
Look at
no, absolutely not. Look at him. We just had this conversation last night at dinner, Chris.
Catherine saw him playing
We
drums.
said, I don't know if you remember the last podcast where Chris said, "I'm a fucking 6. How'd you get a 10?" and
I told you last
I brought it up
night.
last night at the dinner table.
I'm a strong 4.
And I said, I've always considered myself a strong 7. But that's in my head. Maybe I'm wrong. Chris shot that down.
No, I was just supporting how wonderful his wife is. And
so it's more of a myth.
He has a very awesome wife. And the thing is,
Catherine,
my wife and his wife are like thick as thieves now.
That's awesome too.
And which is great because you know, you as guys, like you hang out and stuff, and if the girls don't get along, that's arduous, and it makes it a problem for this. And honestly, some guys just married total trash. Like,
good one,
right?
True,
I mean,
true.
she's kind of good look at. She's also a cunt.
We did. I think we both of us did good in the fact that we married
nice
girls that liked musicians, and when you fall in love with a musician, you get a certain basket of traits, whether you like it or not. And so you have to like that and accept that. You know, it's typically you know, there's some partying going on, there's some late nights, there's music, there's loud music, there's just very basic things that you have to accept. And if you're lucky enough to land a woman that accept those very basic things, you're off to a good start.
You're also getting a guy who's more in tune with his emotions, who's like a lot of times more. I don't know. Artists are a different breed, man. It's like a whole different. Most of the artists that I know, and Michelle spoke to this when she met me, because it's funny when we first met. She said to my friend who introduced us, he's like, you know, he's cute and he's nice and all, but he's got that long hair and the beard and the tattoos and all. And he's like, not the guy I kind of normally date. My buddy's like, how's that working out for you?
Yeah.
So you start shopping in a different store, maybe the clothes fit better.
Yeah.
So let's go non-artist. Let's go non-artist. Pinky, go.
What's that?
Pinky. So let's go non-artist. Pinky, go.
What's the
I know you were playing for a while.
It's not art. It's passionate about something.
I do art.
If you're passionate about
something,
something, it doesn't have to be art. That definitely turns women on.
Well,
Pinky's passion is like trucks and stuff, and he is going to find a woman that is like that sees that. Oh, if he's passionate about this, he can be passionate about.
What do you do with trucks,
Sure,
Pinky? Do you work on them?
Yeah.
I mean, so I think that's amazing.
Well, more than that, dude. He builds rock crawlers. He's a crazy welder. He pays $600 a month for a storefront shop just for his hobbies. He races at VIR, Virginia International Raceway.
You race a car yourself?
Cars. He we've gone out.
I do a
to
little bit of everything. I
VIR
did some
to watch
drifting.
him.
I did mud racing. I did all kinds of stuff.
Cool.
A couple
Yeah.
weeks ago, we
And then
or
you turn all the
couple
wrenches on your
months
shit.
Yeah,
Fuck
all of
yeah,
them.
totally.
Fuck
I don't
yeah.
like nobody
See,
working on my car.
So
but
my
me.
next door
Yeah.
neighbor is a master Volvo mechanic, and he's won like in the Haley group. He's won top mechanic like 3 times,
Right.
and he's a fucking jazz guitar major. So the crossover shit,
Right.
and it's like, but you're passionate about it.
Oh yeah,
And
for sure.
I think
Totally.
like that's what's up, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's beyond your job.
Right.
It's what you do and who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm making a whole tube frame for this next rock crawler I'm building.
Yeah,
What's
he's
a rock
building
crawler?
Oh man, we just went up to West
Like a-
It's like
Virginia.
a picture Jeep with big tires and it just going over these crazy rocks in the
Crawling
mountains.
up a mountain, the big rocks.
Oh, it's so it is what
Yeah.
it says it is.
Yeah.
Literally,
Right.
So it's,
like
but
you're
it's like, is it an
sitting in a Jeep like
ATV?
this.
Is it?
No, it's a full vehicle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a roll cage. And
Yep. My Jeep though.
And you are straight up going.
Yeah, that's not his, but
that you're
I
just
would
like,
love to do
why
that.
are you going this direction? Go the easy
Yeah, I was the
way.
underdog that day too, so I was the smallest tire out there,
You'd be
and I was
inside of
hanging
it.
with guys that had like $40,000.
I would love to ride along on one of these excursions.
Y'all,
fun. It's
I was
fun.
telling Josh, y'all
Super
will come
fun.
with us.
Can I do that with
Oh
you?
yeah, oh yeah,
I would love that.
Do we stay? We'll,
My
we'll
wife
show
would
you the
love that shit.
videos of it.
And we'd be safe.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
nobody's gonna die. You're not going.
I mean, I live on 115 acres in Amelia, so we have like little trails out there, nothing crazy,
That's
but
fine.
for a beginner, I took his daughter out there. I let her
Yeah.
his daughter drive.
This is his stuff. I have a hat. We have T-shirts. Crazy One Racing. He made all this.
You have a
We-
T-shirt.
stickers, stickers on the trucks, and
I
he's
I
just
can get one to wear on stage.
everything
I can
he
talk
does
about
is his passion,
I
and
fucking
it
love
has nothing to do about money. He doesn't. All of his friends take advantage of him. They get him
Well,
to
that's
jack up
unfortunate.
their trucks. And
Yeah.
he's like, all right, give me a 12-pack of beer for jacking up
Well, he
your
likes to
truck.
do it, yeah.
You know, he just
Yeah.
loves it.
I just
so
want you to
much.
make my truck run. That'd be great. I'm getting ready to sell my Yukon for $370 because it just sounds like a bag of bolts.
Doesn't have a motor in it because he needs a motor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it needs a motor, and I'm like,
Oh.
it's a 2001. It's not worth putting a fucking motor in.
Right.
I'm
That's
just-
he's in the same boat with
Needs
his,
to go to
his
bed.
Suburban.
Yeah, we
Needs
was
to go to bed.
I can't get my left window to go up and down anymore. Can you help me with that?
I mean, that's the easy fix. You can do that in your driveway.
I
Order the
tried.
part
I
on
can't do
eBay.
it.
Yeah, there's always a YouTube video.
But
Oh, okay.
Pinky, would you agree? A 2001 Yukon with fucked up paint doesn't need me to
Yeah.
put a motor in it.
yeah, I mean, if
It
it's a
needs-
good looking truck and you loved it forever,
yeah,
and you
it needs to
know,
go to bed.
yeah. If it's old school, it's let it roll.
is that yours, Pinky?
Thinking about getting.
Oh, there's my truck. I'll
I'd like to
twist it
get.
up.
I'd like to get a GTI.
Yeah,
but
can y'all see
but I'm
that?
thinking about the new
Mhm.
Bronco.
Oh yeah, they're hard to come by because they're already sold out.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that, Jeremy. That's the Jeep that we took to West Virginia. We went up there for the weekend. The cool thing about it is you don't go out there by yourself. You go out there with like 15 other people, all in Jeeps. And when something breaks, everyone's like, all right, here we go. And everyone helps everyone.
Oh, that's nice.
Because
Yeah,
you're in
there's
a
a big
long
camaraderie.
line. And like when you go through the gnarly spots, you go through and you pull up and you stop and you watch everyone else go through the gnarly spot.
Yeah.
And if anyone breaks anything, everyone gets excited.
Yeah.
And they're all like, all right, you got a air pump
Fuck
and you got
yeah.
a tire.
I
and
love
they
this.
all
I
help
love
each
this.
It's
other.
fun. It's
You're
good fun.
you're
Yeah.
walking around through the mud. When we're done with the show, we'll show you some of the videos from our we rented a log cabin on the top of West Virginia Mountain
Here it is.
with the owner
Oh,
of the
that's nice.
place, who's
Dude, the dude's ahead. I can't remember.
That's the
how-
cabin.
I
yeah,
can't
that's
remember
the
dude's name.
cabin we stayed in right there.
Mr. Host, what? It's
Yeah, see Pinky's t-shirt, Crazy One Racing. We all got hats and t-shirts to wear.
I don't. Thomas.
Oh, here we go.
Thomas.
Thomas.
We
Thank you.
will get John some
John
hats
fucking
and
talked.
t-shirts.
John-
I know.
John
see?
has the best voice of anybody.
I
on this
know,
fucking
we've been
microphone.
saying.
Oh my God, we've
over
been
here.
saying
He's like
that
he's
forever.
Sounds like
I'm
Barry
just,
White.
I'm just touching the buttons and
It's
I don't
beautiful.
Yeah, that's my daughter and her
That's
boyfriend.
beautiful.
Look,
Oh, we
dude.
ruined the whole
Yeah.
grill that weekend.
Yeah, it had headlights at the beginning of the weekend.
You should talk more, John.
I'm sorry. Just
To be
they-
fair, though, on the
we're,
drive
we're
over here,
excited. John talking.
John-
We were so
Josh
excited.
was like,
In all the times I've met John, I think he said
heart
I've heard him say 20 words total.
My heartbeat.
He described y'all as Penn and Teller.
That's what he said last night. Yeah.
Speaking of John, somebody didn't show up to the podcast last week, everybody. And John was in the comment section. I tried to get him to come on because he could finally get some. He has the best podcast voice, and we don't ever let him talk.
Oh, yeah.
It's fantastic.
It really is.
So I do have the SM7 and the R820 at the studio. Maybe I could chime in from the studio one night and be one of these split screens.
Well, that's what Thomas always tells me, to make sure I tell y'all that you can do this from your house. You can do it from your laptop. You can do it from your phone. Anywhere you're at, come in for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I'm like, don't tell them that. I want them to come here and party with us and drink with us and hang out with us.
Yeah, we can have up to
Right?
8
You can
people.
do that.
Yeah.
And we would love to have anyone and everyone. Like
I'm
TJ.
just saying, if I
TJ comes in all the time. And
my thing is, like, if I didn't have to fucking drag some of my musician friends down Beach Road to get here because they're not coming.
yeah.
If they could come to the studio and be like, hey, we're going to be a guest on the podcast tonight, would you be hip to it? And then people
Do it.
so if you guys are into it, we can help. So I have a small
100%.
record label too around my studio, and our artists could use it for content to help launch their thing. You know, I mean, I don't know if y'all are into that.
That is
what you're about,
100%
but, like,
what we're into. Honestly,
that's what we do.
yeah, Jeremy, when we started this, Thomas started it when COVID started, and I was going through my father passing, so I wasn't returning his messages.
Right.
We've been listening to Opie and Anthony and Howard Stern for years, and back in the day, Thomas and I were like, dude, we could do this. And he was actually like, dude, you're a talker. We could really, and I'm like, I don't think so. I'm more annoying than anything. And so
That's
when
true.
he started doing this,
you're less annoying than you give yourself credit for.
I wasn't returning his messages because I was going
feedbacks,
through whatever
yeah.
I was going through. Well, then by
His
the time I
family.
returned his messages, he was 12 deep into his podcast.
I bet he was. I bet he was.
Yeah,
12
12 deep. Not inches.
Well,
though.
about half that, 6.
I mean, no. Look,
But anyway, he started it without me and was doing it, and it was local businesses. And he was interviewing local businesses, and that was this thing, who cares type of thing.
so talk about passion. Thomas has it.
So exactly, that's how he started it. And then once we got involved, the three of us, literally the first time John and Pinky came over and we did the podcast with them, John the next day was like, do you think I should get this mixing board? Would this mixing board be good for the podcast? I was like, hell yeah.
Thomas,
We
if you have
kind
any
of-
further inquiries about gear, you should just hit me up.
Seriously.
I
Yeah.
will. Trust me.
We really need Thomas to get some mic.
He needs
Yeah,
so
he needs a mic.
he needs an
for
RE20.
sure.
We're
You
going to
can
hook up
tell.
with an RE20.
But Thomas has a great voice too. And
Yeah.
he's
And not that his mic is inferior, and it looks cool as shit. It's cooler looking than anything else that's on display right
it's
now.
cool looking.
It's cooler looking than it sounds.
But his beautiful teeth just make it pop.
You do have a nice mouth.
He does, right?
You sure do got a pretty
Of course
mouth.
I do.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of settings on this shit, so I could be fucking it up, but who knows?
So
The whole idea was somebody was.
are there
supposed to-
settings on the
John was
microphone
supposed to
itself? There's a switch on the
supposed to-
microphone itself.
There's like all kinds of shit.
All right. So
Gain. There's a volume.
So
there's
there-
a gain.
is there a notched button that has different lines and one with like maybe a diagonal line to the left going down?
I don't know. There's one that has
Yeah.
like pattern.
There's a
Oh,
pattern.
pattern. Yeah. Pattern's great. So where do you have it now?
I have it on the one that looks like a circle. Well, not
So
a circle.
no,
but
so
like
that's Omni. You don't want that. You
no,
want
a
it.
heart.
That's okay.
Damn, he knows all this
Okay.
stuff.
So that's like the different microphone settings
So
right
if
here.
the circle, it means the entire microphone's picking up from front and back. You want
Okay.
something. The heart is picking up like right in front of you, and then if you have
Yeah.
anything more narrow than that, would even be even better.
Yeah, I have gain.
Oh no, that's as far as pattern.
There's one that looks like an 8. It's hard to see.
Infinity.
So no,
Oh.
that microphone's yes. It depends. It could be that the capsules.
Size.
And my son just pointed out I'm probably talking to it backwards because this
There
is
it
the
is.
front.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
Oh, only 2 hours and 8 minutes
Are you
later.
kidding me?
Thank you, guys.
Well, I mean, you know,
I
you
said, I'm getting the
get
fuck
an
out of
engineer
here.
in the fucking
So
crew.
you decide to turn your mic.
You've been in a cave before that,
So
buddy.
here's
Oh.
engineering 101. You want to start making records?
I knew he was there. I knew he
Put,
was
you put a mic on it, move it around while you listen to it. Figure out where
Yeah.
it sounds the best. You know, it's all good.
My bad. This is the first time I hung it upside down. It's usually over here. My fault.
No, but the upside down looks good though.
Damn, I would have wished y'all had told me that shit 2 hours ago.
Man, you sound so much cooler.
so much.
See?
bullshit.
Be a whole lot cooler if you did.
You have a nice shaped head. Let's
Yeah.
just.
I think we should just start this whole thing over.
All right, ready?
I'm not going to take
Here's
this.
podcast. The podcast brought to you.
Jeremy and his wife in Egypt. Let's start it over again.
Yeah. I can't believe that.
Tell the St. Louis story again. In fact, I feel like it's terrible. I'm giving my life story on this fucking thing. It's terrible.
Why is it terrible?
Nobody needs to know all that shit.
No one needs to know anything.
I just don't know if I need to all the Facebook's tagged and fucking running rampant.
Josh Springer.
Nobody cares. I really want to talk about some nitty gritty stuff, but you don't want to talk about nitty
No,
gritty.
but Thomas, are you going to like tag me on Facebook with this thing?
I can if you want me to. I usually do that afterwards. And what I
Kinda
do is everything we talked about and anybody that we talked, like when you just brought up Marsha, I would tag her in the repost so she
Right.
can know that we talked about her. I don't
Yeah.
have to tag you though.
I mean, my thing is this: it's like I kind of got more personal than I wanted to get, and then
It's
like,
too late.
no, it's. I mean, it's. I know it's out there in the world. I would like a chance to marinate on it and just watch it for myself before I make that thing.
Okay.
because,
No,
I mean, as much as it's cool that my ego is attached to this, but it's like,
Thomas, run the film.
my God.
Run it out. Run it out.
get a pussy now. Sorry,
Too late.
I guess you're gonna have to. You
What?
know,
What
I
are you?
just,
What are you afraid of?
well,
I mean,
I didn't like to ostracize the fucking people doing rap.
No, you didn't.
My boy CeeLo.
Yeah, you were.
CeeLo's not a real name.
You know,
His
And then
first name's
everybody-
Charles.
Life story that's a little weird.
No, it's awesome.
That's why we're here, and you know that's why we came here.
Trust
Talk
me, we've
about
all
your life
gone
story.
through. Do we want to put ourselves out there
And
like
we're-
that?
Yeah, we had
Dude,
a
I'm
jerk
out
off
there.
schedule
We're
one time.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
Your cooking shows have your worst cooking show has more views than our best show.
He's back on.
That's true.
Just relax.
He's out.
He says, "Relax." I'm just saying, if I share it, your shit will get more.
Yeah,
views.
then it'll go crazy. But that's on you. I will not share it. I will not share it. I won't tag you.
I'm gonna come back anyway. I know I
You
already
are.
live, but the address in my
He's gonna be on every Friday night.
I mean, there was definitely be some bourbon left over. Y'all drinking like pussies.
But before we
Damn.
about no, but seriously, Jeremy has some great jokes about Trumps. Would you tell just a couple of them?
I don't have any jokes.
Oh.
He said no politics.
No politics.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. I forgot. Anywho,
Does he have
thanks
an
for
orange hair or face or something?
no politics. Let's talk
Ever-
about Jesus.
Stevie Ray Vaughan
Jesus.
right behind you.
I think Jesus is politics too.
That's a fact.
Jesus is
How about
politics.
this? I'll say this: my political and religious statement. If we're supposed to have separation of church and state, fine. Churches can pay fucking taxes.
I agree.
You know how much money we would have that we don't fucking have right now?
That's from Joel Osteen.
Cut film.
Correct.
Cut film. Go.
Oh, you have a jet?
Cut.
Yeah.
Really.
That shit's bent.
The righteous gemstones.
So anyway, thank you, Jeremy D. Simmons, for being on the show this weekend, and we hope you come back.
Next caller.
Check out Jeremy D. Simmons. Jeremy puts the D in Simmons album High in the Sky on Apple Music. Check out Simmerin Simmons on
Simmerin.
YouTube channel for interesting insight on Southern cooking. If you don't like it, get your own show. And check out Elephant Ear Studios website for all your sound and studio needs. Also, if you wouldn't mind, check out the Skydog Allman Brothers tribute band on YouTube. Do
or
it.
his other 5 bands that he's in. Don't forget that.
Go sauce. Go sauce.
Or just hit him up on
How
Facebook
about,
and
like, thanks
wait
for,
a year for him to respond to become your friend.
thanks for having me. How long ago did you
Here we
hit me
go.
up?
I don't know, honestly.
So it's like, so they don't come up in the feed. So I had to like dig through the list.
It was a few weeks ago when Josh was like, dude, you got to get Jeremy on. He's a talker. You're going to love it. And that's when I was like, well, we want you on from now on, and then we'll get Jeremy on. Here we go, baby. Listen to that voice.
Sultry.
Love you guys.
It's
Thanks
passion.
Thanks for dealing.
He puts the passion, not just the D. He puts the P. Passion, baby.
He puts the D in Simmons, bitch.
Jeremy D. Simmons.
Damn straight.
Yeah, that's a fucking rock star name in my opinion. Jeremy fucking Simmons, bro.
We will be getting him to play music with us one night.
We do the stakes.
Next podcast, Jeremy Simmons, 20-minute bass solo.
Pinky can play every Nirvana song.
You're a musician, Pinky?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Guitar. Yeah.
He knows all the Nirvana. He can play
Not
them
all
good,
of
too.
it, but a
Just
lot.
keep a shotgun.
Yeah, he can play them good, too. Yeah, on our Halloween episode, I want him to be Kurt Cobain with him. And it's
No.
too soon. It was still too soon.
Too soon.
It's
Too soon.
inappropriate.
I don't like
It
it.
really was. It was
I don't like
inappropriate.
I don't care for it either.
Yeah. We had a pretty good Halloween episode. Pretty fun.
All right, boys. We had 2 hours, 18 minutes. Let's wrap it up. If you want to, what we got over here? We got. Nope, that's the wrong one. We got Elephant Ear Studios, info at elephantearstudios.com. Phone number 804-501-9069. If you want some studio space, I guess you got not performing during COVID right now, but as soon as this shit is over.
We got bands in there right now.
Oh yeah. No, I'm saying you're not going to any gigs right now.
Oh, you're correct. Correct.
Yeah.
I got time. I'm saying I am booking studio time right now, though.
Hell yeah. So get in there. Don't matter if you're a rapper or you're playing on a guitar. He got you. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it. Josh Sullivan in the building. If you need a house bought, don't call him because he's too busy. He already said, don't worry about it, sweetheart. He's just remodeling.
Lose my number.
Chris Pinky Kessler, crazy one. Fucking everything. You want something built? He can
On everything.
Stuttering Stanley.
Crazy one racing, crazy one cuss, crazy one this, crazy one that. Chris Harrison don't do a goddamn thing, so don't contact him. John with the sound, you did beautiful tonight. Can we hear your voice one time, please?
One time.
Oh.
Got him.
He's like Wilford Brimley and pea soup at the same time. He's a little grizzly and a little smooth.
Shout out to TJ Bell. TJ Bell Works, Woodworks. He's
Appreciate
gonna
you,
do the
TJ.
guitar. We'll get him out here and we'll show it on the podcast. And that's it. And that's that. Josh Sullivan, do you have anything to say before we go, buddy?
Love you, Thomas.
Thank you, sir. I love you too. We're starting to build this relationship. See that whiskey starting to come through now? You see what I'm saying? See how that goes? Jeremy, thanks for coming out. You're a fucking superstar.
Very flattering. I appreciate it.
So glad you helped me fix my mic issue.
Man,
that's how good you are. You can fix my shit virtually. See
All you had to do is this.
Spin it around.
Yeah, just turn it around.
Be here with you guys. I think I'm gonna come back and not make it about me next time.
No, this episode was about you. Next time it won't be.
I know you specifically did that. It's like
trust me. We listened to Josh Sullivan talk for fucking 2 hours and 45 fucking minutes.
Riveting, I'm
It's
sure.
real
I've got
estate.
far less to talk about with my own life than he does. So he deserves at least 3 podcasts. If I got 2, he's got 3 coming.
Who cares?
Next caller.
All right, y'all. Love you. Smooches. See ya. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in. That is episode 31. It's a great one. If you didn't catch it on the replay. Love y'all. We're on YouTube. Who Cares Podcast on YouTube. You're on my Facebook page and Who Cares Podcast page. Love y'all. Smooches and good night.